Larson. Glad to have you with us tonight. Bill Scott's with me as well at Bishop John M. Darcy Stadium. St. Xavier facing University of St. Francis on a beautiful night for college football. Well, St. Francis sports now a 2-0 record after a pair of season-opening victories, both times scoring 50 points or more, including last Saturday night's victory right here in this stadium over Judson University, 51-19. Meanwhile, the St. Xavier Cougars, they are hoping to even their record now at 2-2. SXU, they held off visiting Siena Heights last Saturday, 24-21, to gain their first victory after a pair of season-opening defeats. But the question remains: is USF back? Are they for real? Well, a reminder, last season in Chicago, SXU shut out St. Francis 38-0, and St. Francis fans have long memories. It's an all-Cougar matchup here tonight in Fort Wayne, USF hosting St. Xavier. What does Coach Kevin Donnelly think about tonight's matchup? Important game, certainly. And we'll find out when we return with more of our Momper Insulation pregame show. Coach D standing in the wings, getting ready to join us right here on WGL Cougar Football on WGL News Radio 1250, 105.5 FM.
The PSM Performance Edge program is here to help athletes reach the next level. It's a high-intensity, personalized training program built for athletes who want to be the best. Whether you're making the jump to high school athletics or have dreams of playing your sport in college and the pros, the Edge is the athletic development program to get you there. Over 150 athletes have decided to put in the work to reach the next level with the Edge program. Call us at 260-266-4007 to schedule your free one-on-one consultation.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
In Northeast Indiana, contact Brendan Scott Shelter Insurance at 342 Enterprise Drive, Warsaw, Indiana, or call 574-376-4448.
Learning to manage your finances? Maybe not a lot of fun, but what if you actually got paid to learn? Public Service Credit Union has partnered with Zogo, the gamified financial literacy app that lets you earn while you learn. With real-life rewards like gift cards to your favorite stores, bite-sized modules tackle topics like saving for retirement, buying a car, even opening a checking account. Lessons that are fun for students and even parents. Get started by downloading the Zogo app. Use access code MYPSCU. Finally, it pays to learn about finances thanks to Public Service Credit Union.
This time of year, everyone is thinking football. And now there's a special opportunity to grab a copy of Fort Wayne's legendary coach, Kevin Donnelly's new book, Snap to Whistle. At the University of St. Francis, Coach D's Cougars captured back-to-back national championships in 2016 and 2017. His new book reveals over 40 years of coaching trials and tribulations, as well as the ability to overcome personal adversity and challenges. Snap the Whistle, a perfect gift idea if you're truly a football fan. Get a personally autographed copy in the USF football office, also available at Amazon, Apple Books, and Barnes & Noble.
Time now for the Momper Insulation pregame show, where quality and family always come first.
Well, I'll tell you what, we are back at Darcy Stadium tonight, another night game. But the situation a little bit different, maybe a little bit tougher opponent here tonight. But let's talk about the first 2 weeks, Coach. 2 up, 2 down. 50 plus or more points in each of the first 2 ball games. I want to talk about a couple of players last week that just were simply astounding. I mean, Cameron Peterson etched his name in the Cougar running back record book with over 200 yards, 216 yards. I think back Justin Green with 296 in one of his 3 200-plus years, or I should say running back games. And Daniel Carter, I know, had 236 one year. But Cameron Peterson, he was special last week. Did cough up the ball 3 times. We lost 2 of them, and I'm sure you talked to him about that. But just a tremendous performance by Cameron Peterson. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, Cam's a fireball. He's a real leader on the team. He takes pride in that. He's definitely a team guy. He had a great game. I think I've said to you before, the strength of this football team's line of scrimmage on both sides. And our offensive line had 79 pancakes last week. That's knocking people down. Now, we had 95 plays. We had more than that, but a lot of them were erased with penalties. So we got to clean the penalties up. We're going to hang on to football. Part of that is I need to do a better job in subbing. Cam had 33 carries last week. I should have used the other running backs because we're quite capable there. That was probably part of why we put the ball on the ground. But, we wanted Cam to have the big game, which he did, but it should have probably put the ball in some other guys' hands.
Well, he did that much more. And the other guy I want to talk about, because the crowd just was stunned, electrified. Laban Davis, little pitch and catch designed to pick up a first down. He did not want to go down. He carried I don't know how many tacklers with him, but he got into the end zone, 39-yard touchdown pass play, and that was sensational. That's not the first time. I was talking to Lures coaches last night at the high school game. He said that he did that last year in the sectional to them, and as Eastside beat Bishop Lures. He was something special.
Well, he is something special still today. He plays with such passion. He plays so hard. He just refuses to go down. He's going to fight you. I don't care how many guys are banging on him. He's going to try to get that extra inch. So he's earned a lot of respect from all the coaches and his teammates so far.
Today, the opponent, St. Xavier, we kind of owe them a little bit. I phrased this as a circle date on the St. Francis schedule, because last year we were on a drive to start the ball game and got to the 8-yard line, and a pass was intercepted. And I personally felt the game turned around at that point, lost 38-0. Tell me about, we've seen St. X on film. I know last week they held on to beat Siena Heights 24-21. What do you see? It's all Cougars today. We can guarantee a Cougar win. But what do you see on film about SXU?
Well, they're a program that has a rich tradition, as we do. They beat a good Siena Heights football team last week. They play tough defense. Offensively, they're wild, reckless. They're going to gadget you. They're going to have a quick game and a perimeter screen game. I guarantee you're going to see fake punts and onside kicks and all sorts of wild and crazy stuff, we've had to prepare for. And there's going to be some things we haven't seen yet. So it'll be a good football game. This will be a good test for us. We're on a rebuild. We're rebounding from a poor year. And again, first one in a long time. And we'll find out just how far we have come and how far we have to go yet by the end of the night.
Are you starting to see similarities to the 1999 team with this current Cougar team?
Well, time will tell.
And today?
Time will tell. I'll tell you more about 10 o'clock today.
This time of year, everyone is thinking football. And now there's a special opportunity to grab a copy of Fort Wayne's legendary coach, Kevin Donnelly's new book, Snap to Whistle. At the University of St. Francis, Coach D's Cougars captured back-to-back national championships in 2016 and 2017. His new book reveals over 40 years of coaching trials and tribulations, as well as the ability to overcome personal adversity and challenges. Snap to Whistle, a perfect gift idea if you're truly a football fan. Get a personally autographed copy in the USF football office, also available at Amazon, Apple Books, and Barnes & Noble.
You're listening to USF Football on WGO, News Radio 1250 and 105.5.
Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram knows that sometimes it just makes more sense to buy used. Every purchase is different. Every buyer has a specific need. But that doesn't mean you have to settle for a poor, depleted selection of vehicles on some shady corner lot. There's no need to get frustrated driving from dealership to dealership, confronted by hard sell lot Larrys trying to hustle you into a bad deal on a high-mileage vehicle. That's because Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram has a massive selection of factory-back certified pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, and a finance approval plan to get you into the vehicle you want. Credit issues, divorce, bankruptcy? No worries. We've got the banks, we've got the loan officers, we've got the financing. Don't run all over town. Just run on down to Coliseum under the giant American flag. You can still have a big dealership experience even when buying a pre-owned ride at Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Always online at glenbrookdodge.com.
You're listening to USF Football on WGO, News Radio 1250 and 105.5.
Back at Darcy Stadium, I'm Joe Parson. Welcome back, everybody. Meeting at midfield, the co-captains for both teams, SXU with 4 players out there. University of St. Francis, Jack James is out there. He can pick out his number 0 very easily, along with Cameron Peterson, number 1. Referee this afternoon is Jason Ferguson. Weatherman promised us sunny skies at kickoff. We're not going to get that. A little bit overcast, but Weatherman said 72 degrees here at kickoff. Southwest wind could be a little bit of a factor. Winds out of the southwest 7 to 9 miles an hour and gusting some at times, so might be a bit of a factor with those passes going from right to left, getting a little extra boost, and maybe from left to right knocking down some. Let's see how the Jason Ferguson is about to let us know. Xavier's won the toss defer. That means St. Francis will get the ball first. SXU will kick away right to left, coming down to crunch time, and we'll have opening kickoff coming up very soon right here on WGL.
Everyone knows that winter is coming, and when it does come, it's the wind and cold air that really chill your home. Momper Insulation can keep the cold out by sealing the leakage points and filling empty sidewalls, even through masonry or siding, without unsightly holes or blemishes. They're also experts at insulating crawl spaces, attics, and any place the cold could get in and ruin your winter. Let Momper seal your house, saving you 30 to 50% off your heating bill. Call today for a free energy audit before it's too late. Momper Insulation.
When the furnace or air conditioning goes out, it's not on your schedule or even a repair company's schedule. There is one name in heating and cooling that will make you a part of their schedule. Current Mechanical. Current Mechanical handles all heating, cooling, water heater, filter system, and geothermal needs, including replacements, repairs, and maintenance. With over 35 years in the heating and cooling business, Current Mechanical's response time is one of the best in the Fort Wayne area. Call Current Mechanical 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 420-8138. Current Mechanical. Keep it current.
All of us can use some help from time to time. That's why Blue Jacket supports men and women in the Fort Wayne area through employment and training. Also those who may have the cards stacked against them from the homelessness, addiction and disability, a felony, even long-term unemployment. All can be overcome through Blue Jacket intervention. Blue Jacket even hires certain clients at its own enterprises, such as their high-end theft store, cleaning service, staffing service, and highly popular holiday event, Fantasy of Lights. Blue Jacket stands ready to help those in need.
Back at Darcy Stadium to start a little bit early here this evening. They zeroed out the clock from 1:20. We'll go with it.
Fort Wayne's News Radio 1250 and 105.5.
During that period, to have an organization like Community Harvest Food Bank step up and say, here's what we can do for you. We can provide you with the equipment necessary to continue to feed our children. What a powerful statement that is. So I can do nothing but thank all of you for what you've done to make Fort Wayne just a little bit better place to live and to help us pursue some of our goals. And that is to make sure that no one in our community goes hungry.
WGL 1250 and 105.5. W288EI. Fort Wayne.
Return across the 10.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Linda Kenyon in Washington. Tropical Storm Ian is strengthening in the Atlantic and heading toward Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis has already issued a state of emergency.
Even before the first bands of tropical weather strike Florida, the governor's emergency declaration is designed to cut through the bureaucratic red tape. For Florida emergency management, minutes matter.
What it does allow me to do is it allows me the opportunity to execute those contracts in a matter of minutes versus a matter of days and weeks.
Kevin Guthrie is the director of Florida Emergency Management. He explains the declaration also frees up state funding for emergency protective measures.
WTSP TV reporter Hannah Deneen in Tampa Bay. Remember Hurricane Fiona? Well, she slammed into 2 Canadian provinces early today as a strong post-tropical cyclone. Christina Lamy speaks for officials in Nova Scotia.
The priority for emergency responders is evacuations. There are hundreds of people displaced right now. So the first step that's occurring is emergency shelter for those residents residents who are without a home. We're encouraging everyone who is safely sheltered to remain there.
The storm washed homes into the ocean, destroyed structures, and downed trees and power lines. Referendums are underway in some Russian-occupied areas of Ukraine. CBS's Deborah Pata has the latest.
Virtually destroyed by Russian bombardment and abandoned by residents who managed to escape before the Kremlin took control. It is in occupied cities like these that elections slammed as illegal by the West are taking place. Ivan Fedorov, the exiled mayor of now occupied Melitopol, said Ukrainian citizens are being held hostage, forced to vote under Russia's watchful eye.
Those referendums would allow Putin to annex those regions just like he did in Crimea. Some good news and some bad news about tobacco use among young people.
New research from Columbia University's Mailman School of Public Health shows teen substance abuse in the U.S. is declining, but experts are concerned about skyrocketing vaping and cannabis use. It's estimated some 2 million middle and high school students use e-cigarettes.
That's CBS's Michael George. Rock and roll has lost a key member of the Doobie Brothers. Drummer John Hartman, who was a co-founder of the band, has died at the age of 72. No cause of death has been released. The band tweeted, "John was a wild spirit, great drummer and showman during his time at the Doobies. He was also a close friend for many years." This is CBS News.
Teams want to play fast.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
Well, they will mark it down first.
Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Dub, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Fort Wayne's News Radio 1250 and 105.5. Time for Dave Lyons News on WGL.
One brother shot his older brother after a meth-fueled night. They still reportedly love each other, and the older brother, the victim, still speaks to his brother sitting in the Allen County Jail.
Anderson, number 22, Joey Markusovic. Simmons pass intended for Franz McEachin is incomplete and brings up fourth down. In punt formation for the Cougars, 0 Jack James. Deep for Xavier, number 6 Justin Pringle. is set for 12 noon. We hope to see you all there. It's sure to be a great game. Kicking off for the Cougars, 0, Jack James. Deep for St. Xavier, number 10, Javen Mays, number 6, Justin Pringle. Number 10, Javen Mays on the return. Tackling a play by number 6, Luke Connor.
Was having a factor with it, was pushing it away from the intended punt returner, and he just couldn't secure it. And boy, I tell you, Braden Payton down there right on the money when it counted. 7-0 USF. Now SXU gets a chance. Offensively, they'll set up 1st and 10 at their own 29. Good, decent field position. Stuart Ross played against St. Francis last year. Out of the shotgun, hands the ball off on the read option, a cut back up the middle. Brings it across the 30, maybe for another yard to the 31. Ross last week in the win against Siena Heights, 22 of 35, so he completed 63% of his passes. 191 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. He was sacked twice by the Saints defense.
On that first play, Taylor Spitoff, number 91, with the tackle on the play. Just a short gain there for the SXU Cougars.
SXU offensive line averaged 283 a man, tackle to tackle. Empty backfield. Here's a quick screen to the right side and a run down the right side across the 35. Again, kind of bumped on the play, out of bounds across there around the 36. That's where they'll spot the ball. So an important 3rd down call coming up for SXU. 3rd down at about 3. Last week in 3rd down situations, they were only 4 of 15 against Siena Heights, but they did win the game 24-21. Spread offense, 2 wide either side. Motion out of the backfield to the near side. Here's Ross. Long count from the line of scrimmage. He's got the snap. Wants to throw. He's got a wide open, being pursued. Throws the ball up, and it is no good. There was a big hit as the ball hit the receiver's hands. Let's see who that was.
Number 2, Joe.
And that is Mike Gundersdorf. They listed him only 5'9". He looks a lot bigger than that when he went up to attempt that pass reception. But it'll bring up 4th down. And the punter comes in. That will be, well, it could be a couple of different players. Joe Poselli had a couple of punts last week, had a long of 42. Pringle does a lot of the punting as well. And you got to be careful of trickery, as Coach Donnelly said, his old buddy Mike Feminist. But they will punt the ball away, left-footed kick. That's driving Ben Butler back, and he can't find it. On the bounce, catches it over the shoulder, comes across the 5, gets away from 1, and tries to reverse back to the left side. Now he's got some running room. Another big block across the 25 to the 30-yard, and penalty flags coming everywhere. Everybody that brought one tonight threw one. Well, it looked like 2 good blocks initially, but maybe the 3rd one was the charm.
Well, they're going to protect that player over there, and he didn't see that blocker coming, and he really laid that man out for the Cougars, for the St. Francis Cougars. Unfortunately, that's a penalty now in football. I remember playing, and that was a good play back in the day.
Blindside block, illegal, is going to be the call. So St. Francis will have the football. They lead at 7-0 on the fumble punt into the end zone, recovered by Braden Payne. But now the walk-off should be half the distance. They'll take it inside the 10. And they'll put it down, nose of the football, just inside the 10-yard line. Got a couple of scores from earlier today. Indiana Wesleyan, I should say, number 10. No problem hosting Trinity International, beat them 63-6. No real upsets today. Concordia got beat last week. They're idle today. We'll take a further look, but it's 1st and 10. St. Francis with the ball from their 10-yard line. Here's Simmons, screens near side, looking for a block. He's not going to get one. And Jay Siegel, nowhere to go. That's going to be a loss. Well, he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they spot it. Going to bring it right back to the 10, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. At the 10-16 mark, 7-0 USF. USF Cougars on the road next Saturday, 12 noon game in Adrian, Michigan against Siena Heights. They lost today, by the way, beaten by USF Illinois. Here's a spin by Simmons, looks, throws the right side, double team with a double coverage out there looking for Dandridge. That's a dangerous throw, and just like that, it's going to be 3rd down and 10. One thing SXU does have, Bill Scott, very good DBs. Kevin Countryman back there had 2 interceptions last week, including a pick 6 for 69 yards. Jacob Denny had an interception against St. Francis last year. So did Ron Carroll. They're both back and in there. 2 safeties back now for SXU. Simmons, short drop, looks, throws in the middle. Got a catch right near the 20-yard line. That was Jay Siegel. And are they going to mark him down short? We wait and see. No, they're going to move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 USF. Jay Siegel had 2 catches for 20 yards. You know, Bill, this team is so deep with talent. Crosley McKeechin, you've got Ethan Dye, you've got Ajay Dandridge, and that's just DeJuan Langston had a big touchdown run in week 1. And Jay Siegel kind of gets lost in the mix sometimes. He will have his time. He will find a way to make impact for the St. Francis team. Trust me.
No doubt about it, Joe. He played a big factor late in the game last week. I think he got some confidence in that game. And
gain of a couple. It's called 2nd down and 8. Here's Peterson looking for running room, and Angles did not get much. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage, trying to test that left side. Cougar offensive line averaging 289 a man, tackle to tackle. Jared Almeida at center. Lucas Fender and Reeve Muncie are the guards. Big Solomon Seju at 1 tackle. Bronson Coy at the other tackle. Now it's 3rd down and 7. St. Francis trying to reach just across the 30-yard line on this snap. SXU dropping 6 back in coverage. Now one of the linebackers comes up defensively left side. Here's Simmons, dances. He's got Ben Butler. And inside the 50-yard line, 45-40, runs over a player. Fumble came loose. Was it down on contact? Been no indication yet by the officials. I think they blew the play dead. And they'll bring the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 St. Francis on the nice catch by Butler in the slot. Nobody near him. 1st and 10 at the 35 of SXU.
Nice catch and run there for Ben Butler. That'll get his confidence level going early here in the game, which is so important to get that confidence build up early.
Darius Williams now comes on the field. And by the way, Butler had his bell rung, walking off the field under his own power. They're asking him, what day is it? What time is it? Who are we playing? Little things like that. Just, you know, and I'm being facetious, Bill, but, you know, concussions are certainly a matter that's in focus at all levels of football nowadays.
Oh, absolutely, Joe. They keep making safety improvements on the helmets, almost like they make improvements on cell phones.
Here's Peterson at this dump. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and I'll tell you what, SXU's doing a great job of keying on him after his 216-yard performance a week ago. Now Ethan Dye will check into the ball game for St. Francis. Simmons stays out there. Cam Peterson is also the running back, but it's 2nd down and 10. Approaching 8 minutes, time remaining quarter 1. St. Francis leads 7-0. Peterson again off tackle, and a little better running room this time. Dives inside the 30, got down close to, well, they marked the knee back around the 28, maybe the 27. Here we go again. It'll be 3rd down this time, a long 3 for USF.
There's no time to catch your breath away. These two teams play up and down.
Not wasting any time. Dye tight to the right side, comes in motion now, right to left, resets. Still 19 on the play clock. Simmons backs away. checks the near side bench. Grant Eunice flagging in some instructions. Shotgun formation. Simmons looks right. Now throws the ball. High ball. No chance that time. Sailed on him. Incomplete. So now it's 4th down. If you're Kevin Donnelly, what do? You need about 3 yards. Or do you bring in Jack James to try and add the field goal to make it a 10-0 lead? Keeping the offensive unit out there. Peterson offset to the left. SXU making personnel changes late as well. Dandridge, one of the 2 wide to the right for St. Francis. Here's a Simmons short drop. Looks, throws to a spot, and that was their interference. Don't see a penalty flag, so the 4th down bid fails. Crowd not real happy about it. But SXU is held. They'll take over the football 1st and 10, trailing 7-0.
Looked like they could have thrown the flag on that play. Got shoved in the back, but I guess no harm, no foul.
So St. Xavier takes over at their own 28-yard line. Take a look again at Stuart Ross. With a running back offset to the right, they run Mario Price quite a bit. In motion now, he comes out of the backfield, so they'll have an empty backfield for Ross. Screens the ball, Price has got it, and gets a block. Comes up to the 30, takes a hit to the 31. Cougars rally to the football. As defensively, Nate Talhelm. He is having quite a year, Bill Scott. He had 11 tackles last week, 1.5 for loss. I'm sorry, he had 9 tackles last week, 11 in week 1. So 20 for the season already.
Good open field tackle there, and he got some help from one of his teammates as well.
Prince Powell is now in for St. Francis also. And I think I've got the wrong number. Here's a run again to the left side, and Price got close to the 35. That'll be short. They'll mark him down at the 34. 283, the average for SXU across the front line. Matt Olson at center. Jeremy Widmeyer, we're told, at right guard, along with Zahari Jefferson, Alex Pavlov, and where's his dog? Okay, Pavlov's dog. Never mind. We're moving on. Miss Scherer, the other tackle. Having fun at the old ballpark tonight. 6:02, 6 minutes now remaining, period number 1. 7-0 USF trying to hold off SXU on their officially second possession of the ball game. 3rd down and short. Ross out of the gun, maybe changing the play call. Play clock shows 0. Did they call a timeout in time? Mike Feminis would not miss that opportunity, and they did. So timeout here at Dorsey Stadium, 7-0 USF. And we will be back with this timeout and this mention for Public Service Credit Union. Learning to manage your finances? Maybe not a lot of fun, but what if you actually got paid to learn? Public Service Credit Union is partnered with Zogo, the gamified financial literacy app that lets you earn while you learn. With real-life rewards like gift cards to your favorite stores, bite-sized modules tackle topics like saving for retirement, buying a car, even opening a checking account. Lessons that are fun for students and even parents. Get started by downloading the Zogo app. Use access code MyPSCU. Finally, it pays to learn about finances thanks to Public Service Credit Union. Stick around with us at halftime as we'll have a visit with Mickey Cassidy, former player for St. Francis, now with Game 1, handling equipment and uniforms. Be surprised what all goes in and all the resources that they have to work with. Spread offense, Stuart Ross out of the gun, 2 wide either side motion, Mario Price. And here is a quick throw in the screen. They've got a catch for a 1st down across the 40 and a quick steps after the reception. That was grabbed by Kyle Quinn, and he will bring it out to the SXU 46-yard line. Quick hitting play. Quinn last week had 4 catches against Siena Heights, 45 yards, and also 2 carries for 7 yards. Clock inside 5.5 minutes. Not sure why the clock is stopped. They've moved the chains already. Referee's Jason Ferguson. He has not marked the ball ready for play, but the game clock should still be moving.
All right, he just got it started.
Are we in Chicago? Sorry. 2 wide to the right side now. 1st and 10, motion back to the near side. And here's the screen coming up. Here's the catch again by Kyle Quinn. This time well defended. USF throwing it out, getting out there, and filling the gap that time was Nate Talho. We seem to mention his name and number a lot.
Oh, he gets to the ball so quick. He is all over the field. I'm sure that's credited to a lot of video study, and he knows what plays is coming up. Those guys are so critical.
And that is a loss, by the way. Completed pass, but inside the 45, back at the 44, so 2nd down and 12. 4:45 remains, quarter one. St. Francis capitalizing on the muff punt into the end zone. They score a touchdown, 7-0. Now empty backfield once again. Blitz is coming. Here's a throw over the middle and a good run. They do not get the first down, but the carry, again, that was Kyle Quinn, the featured receiver, got to midfield. That's where they spot the ball. It'll be 3rd down and a long 5. They've got to get to the USF 44 on this snap of the football. SXU huddling up. You don't see a lot of that nowadays at the college level. A lot of the teams just stand around roughly close to their assigned positions, wait for the play to be wagged in, and then they start the play. Cougars have 2 safeties back as well. They show blitz. Here's Ross dropping, wants to throw, has time in the pocket, steps up, throws to the right side, an incomplete pass. That was low and incomplete. Intended receiver for SXU. It might have been Poiselli. Thought he might have been nudged just a bit before that ball got there. Had no chance, though. That ball wasn't going to get there. And it was Javen Mays, by the way, that was the intended receiver. So 4th down. SXU will try to play position with a expected punt. I emphasize the expected because you just never know. And they have a new number back there punting. We were told either Justin Pringle or Joe Poiselli. But I don't think that's the punter, so be aware. Low snap, kick is away, wobbly ball. Butler runs up to it, will run with it, and gets out of 1 tackle initially. Did cross the 20, maybe to the 21. So here comes the Cougar offense, this time for the boys in silver and blue. University of St. Francis with the leads. Fast-moving first quarter so far. 3:41 remains. Heath Simmons will come back out there. Running back offset to the left side. Not sure that it's Cameron Peterson, though. Grosley McKeachin has come out. He'll be one of the wideouts. 2 wide to the left side. They mark the ball, finally ready for play, and here we are, ready to go to work. Simmons out of the guns, got motion, patch it to the left. Cross counter run, nothing doing. Big hit administered that time. That may have been Luke Connor getting the handoff.
He ran into number 99, Peyton Campbell. He's 6'4", 275, and it's like he hit a wall.
Campbell not credited with a tackle last week. He certainly got one there. That was a gain of 1, though. 2nd down. Here's Simmons, throws the fade, and that one sails away. The miscommunication. Dandridge was holding up, and this pass sailed away over his head. Unfortunately, nobody there for SXU. That was Kevin Countryman that was closing on the football, but and as I said, last week he had a game. 1 pass broken up, 2 interceptions, 1 return, 69 yards for a touchdown, 7 tackles, and a sack as well. 3rd down and 9. Here's Simmons, had trouble handling the snap. Now throws left side's got a catch. And to spun around, it's Connor trying to find the first down stick. Won't get there. Got to the 30. So again, Jack James in the exchange of punts will come in to kick the ball away. And SXU this time is going to get very good field position with 2:50 remaining here in quarter number 1. Last year in Chicago, St. Francis never scored a point. Had a chance with the opening drive inside the 10-yard line at the 8. An interception killed that and pretty much the game. St. Francis lost 38-0. Now are they going to put pressure on the ball? James with a kick away. Nobody, well, they do have one back. Fair catch is called at the 31, and the catch this time was made. So SXU with the football again, moving right to left. Let's take a look at some of those other results from earlier today. Roosevelt ranked number 20. They did win at Lawrence Tech 42-14. Siena Heights, they lost today at USF Illinois. Final score there, 19-14. Saints won that ball game. Number 5, Marion, big win at Missouri Baptist out in Missouri, 45-7. And we'll check some more when we have a moment. Stuart Ross, this time running back, offset the left. Price, no, they faked the ball. Now they screen the right side. They've got runners out in front, blockers, I should say, for Price. Cougars rally to the football. The gain was across the 35. They'll give them another yard and a half. No, a yard to the 36. Good play. Good faking that time by Ross. Indicated first he was throwing to the left and changed up through to the screen to the running back, Mario Price, coming out of the backfield. Gain of 5.
Tell him again on the tackle on that play, Joe.
Covers a lot of ground and stayed at home. Empty backfield now, 3 wide to the left, 2 wide to the right for SXU. Here's Ross, throws quickly, and it's got a wide open catch at the 40. They have the first down. That time, St. Francis did not come up with press coverage, and SXU made them pay for an easy conversion. They'll move the chains 1st and 10 with that across the 40 to the 42. We're inside of 90 seconds time remaining in this quick-moving first quarter. Earlier I said number 9 on the field. I was wrong. It's number 8, and that's Damon Hunter, and that's no surprise. He's at one corner tonight. He had an interception last week, couple of tackles, block kick, and a pass broken up. 1st and 10, SXU. Shotgun again, motion, left to right, and they run the ball, and this is a great play. And holding on for dear life is, I think that's River Walsh. Is that number 7 out there?
Yes, sir. That's River Walsh. He was hanging on for dear life. Help me, help me.
Well, his team did just that, so that's a loss of about 4 yards. Now we're down to 45 seconds remaining. It'll be 2nd down. And the ball back inside the 40 to the 38, 2nd and 14. Still 8:17 on the play clock. They've got to run a play. Trying to reach the 48 of St. Francis ultimately. Here's Ross. Quick throw, screen, bubble screen, the right side. Will get a couple of yards back after that loss previously, out to about the 40, and that should just about do it.
Look like Nate Newcomer on the play out there for the tackle near the far sideline.
Changes also coming in off the bench. Travis Hoyle will check. No, that's A.J. Moore, I should say, coming in. And we've reached 000's end of the first quarter. Well, the excitement started on the opening kickoff, or I should say on the punt. That was muffed into the end zone. Braden Payne was there to recover. 7-0 USF after one quarter. And we will be back after this for game 1.
True football tonight will have Coach Donnelly's autograph. And if you catch one, please go.
Game 1 is the premier provider of apparel, uniforms, and equipment, unifying teams and fans in schools, clubs, and organizations. From our partnerships with teams and organizations to our work and dedication to the communities around us, we never stop, striving to help you take on every day, season, and competition with excitement and purpose. Visit game-1.com to learn more about our apparel, equipment, and fan gear offerings. Game 1, your first contact for all things game.
All of us can use some help from time to time. That's why Blue Jacket supports men and women in the Fort Wayne area through employment and training. Also those who may have the cards stacked against them from the homelessness, addiction and disability, a felony, even long-term unemployment. All can be overcome through Blue Jacket intervention. Blue Jacket even hires certain clients at its own enterprises, such as their high-end theft store, cleaning service, staffing service, and highly popular holiday event, Fantasy of Lights. Blue Jacket stands ready to help those in need.
You're listening to USF Football on WGO, News Radio 1250 and 105.5.
Stuart Ross scrambling for his life on this first snap to begin the second quarter. And I tell you what, one of the Cougars came in, Bill Scott, and lowered the boom. And Stuart Ross being, coming off the field, but assisted by one of his concerned teammates. But he took a hit, had to throw the football away, so it'll be 3 and out for starting this second quarter. They'll have to punt the football away. And back deep has been Butler, waiting at the USF 20-yard line.
That was Tellum on that play, Joe. He really leveled their quarterback over there, and he's hurting there on the sidelines right now.
Here's the punt, nearly blocked. Ben Butler looking at go over his shoulder, though, into the end zone, he hopes, and it does trickle into the end zone. Boy, Butler took a chance. That was a beautiful punt that time. And I think that was Poiselli.
Yeah, he got all of that one. Whew.
He also got nailed after the punt, but there's no yellow hankies on the ground, so it'll be 1st and 10. USF will have it at their own 20-yard line, moving right to left.
Boy, that punt just trickled into the end zone, didn't it? I was afraid it wasn't going to get there.
Well, it's artificial. It's brand new surface, by the way. They just put it in, I think, in June, and it's very giving, shall we say. Simmons ready to take the first snap. He's got motion. Ethan Dye left to right. They'll run the football. There's a little bit of a seam this time. Peterson steps out of a tackle. 25, 30, 35, 40-yard line. Best run of the night for Cameron Peterson. 33 carries last week. Averaged 6.5 yards a carry. Scored a touchdown. And gets better fielding position for St. Francis right away. Now up at their own 40-yard line. Motion near side by USF. They'll run the ball again straight ahead. Not yielding much, SXU. They fill the hole. Gain is good for about 3 yards, though, up to about the 43.
Tackle by number 30, Jabari Anderson.
Jabari Anderson credited for the stop. He had 1 tackle and 1 quarterback hurry last week. Ethan Dye again, motion to the far side. Again, Cam Peterson, but they key on him, and he's going nowhere. Maybe reach the 45. That would be a generous spot, in my opinion. We'll see where they spot the football. It's going to be a 3rd down and long. They'll call it 3rd down and a long 5. USF trying to get to midfield on this snap. They've got 3 wide now to the right. That's the wide side of the field. Siegel, the lone wide near side. They come up and press coverage on him. Here's Simmons. Steps up. He can run. He can throw and throws a dart. Catch is made. Let's see if that was Butler at the 43-yard line of SXU.
Ben Butler, nice job of securing that pass. And good pass by Heath Simmons. Found the seam there and picked up the first down.
McEachin checks out of the lineup. Siegel stays in, wide to the left, 2 wide to the right. Improving field position. And again, they'll run the running back, new number. No, that is Cameron Peterson's second effort. Reached the 40 of SXU. Picked up another yard, maybe 2 yards to the 38. It's a gain of 5. Looked like he was going to pick up about 3, and now they move the down marker again, give him another yard. That's to the 38-yard line. They'll call it a gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. Simmons looks. They'll run Peterson again, looking for running room. Still on his feet inside the 35. Picked up the first down as he carries, rumbles down to about the... That's not Cameron Peterson in there. Is that Luke Connor again?
Luke Connor, Joe, yeah. This time it was Luke Connor.
6 rather than 1. They look the same, though, as far as physique, about the same size, but it's a gain down to the 32. 1st and 10, USF on the move. Patchett in motion right side. They'll throw the ball to him in the screen, in the flats. Got a block and rolls down to about the 30-yard line. Kind of lost his pins trying to get what he could, and they'll give him an extra yard to the SXU 29. Butler stays in, up in the slot to the left side. That becomes the wide side with Siegel wide to the outside. Motion to the near side again. Here's Connor. Checks off, runs to his left. Brought it inside the 25. Got another 1.5 yards down inside the 24-yard line. Luke Connor.
It's always nice to have a short distance on 3rd down like they've got right here, about 2 yards.
Brings up 3rd and a long 1.
Ethan Dye comes in off the bench. He's been alternating with Eli Patchett as the tight end. 3rd down and about 1.5 yards. Connor again. They're running to his right. Did he get to the spot? Second effort, he did. At least if you believe these eyes, looks like he got down to about the 22. Officials are showing short, though, as they often do in the NAIA, and they'll mark it inches short. Are they going to measure? Don't see any indication by referee Jason Ferguson. Cougars going to run and roll the dice. Cameron Peterson back in. Heath Simmons with 16 on the play clock changes the call at the line of scrimmage. Everybody in tight except one to the left side. There was movement, in which way? SXU thinks that St. Francis came up out of the stance, and they do. Procedure the call. Costly, and that changes the complexion of the call. Jack James will come in to punt the ball away.
I think they're going to attempt a field goal here, it looks like. I think it was number 79. Henry had a little bit of movement there, Joseph Henry.
This will be a 45-yard attempt. Jack James got the leg, may have a little bit of wind to work with from the right side hash mark. 11-10 remains, quarter two. St. Francis up 7-0. Will they go 10-0? Kick is away, long enough, on the way, and it is good.
Yeah.
Jack James from 45 yards out, nailed it. 10-0 USF with a timeout here at Darcy Stadium, and we're coming back after this. For Kevin Donnelly, snap the whistle. Here's a great Christmas gift-giving idea for that special man of the house in your life. Give him a copy of legendary coach Kevin Donnelly's new book, Snap to Whistle. Kevin Donnelly has built a prolific college coaching career in Fort Wayne, winning back-to-back national football championships here at the University of St. Francis. But it hasn't always been an easy ride. Follow the trials and tribulations of Coach D's 40-plus years of college coaching, the ups as well as the downs, and examples of perseverance and triumphing over adversity. More importantly, with his guidance, how boys wanting to play winning football also became responsible men contributing to their communities. Snap to Whistle provides laughs, some tears, and great life examples sure to entertain any man. Get your copy of Snap to Whistle today. And when you buy in the Cougar football office, Coach D will also personally autograph your very own copy. Snap to Whistle, also available at Amazon, Apple Books, and Barnes & Noble. With Bill Scott, I'm Joe Parson back at Darcy Stadium. 10-0, Cougars capitalizing. Long field goal by Jack James. 45-yarder has them in front at 10-0. Offense, neither offense has put points on the board so far. Here's Jack James trying to, and with authority, drives it. They'll just look at it, sail into the end zone. It'll be a touchback and come out 1st and 10, SXU. Now the sun's coming out here at Darcy Stadium. Right about 6:40 in the evening. Beautiful night for college football. No matter where you may be, glad you could join us on the web tonight. Coverage right here on WGL Cougar Football, News Radio 1250, 105.5 FM. Cougar defense now trying to see what they can do to force a 3-and-out. Mario Price comes back on the field. He remains. Let's see if John O'Sullivan has come in as quarterback now for SXU. Motion right to left by Kyle Quinn. And here's a screen to him in the flats. Cougars fight through that, but they got a block and brings it out across the 25. Only a gain of about maybe 2.5 yards. So Quinn with the play got positive yardage. Number 20, Charles Tanner. Trying to check and confirm. Yeah, that is Stuart Ross is back in there at quarterback. So 2nd down and 9, motion near side. And here's the counter run by Price, stacked up right away across the 25. Got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe +1 to the 27. Cougars converge very quickly to the ball carrier that time. Joey Schaffelberger. He just eats ball carriers up alive, doesn't he?
He does a great job of getting to the ball.
Another 3rd down situation, though, Bill. 3rd down and long, 3rd and 7. They've got to get out to their own 35 this snap. Poiselli goes wide left. He'll have some company out there. Trips package out that way, 1 wide to the right. Ross out of the gun. Cougars show blitz. Here's the blitz coming. And Stuart Ross scrambling and sacked back inside the 15-yard line, back around the 12. That might have been A.J. Moore that was converging from his left side.
A.J. was relentless on that play coming from the left side, Joe. He did not give up. He was getting nicked and bumped. He kept at it and did a great job of finishing the play.
What a difference a year makes. Last year in Chicago, it was SXU making those plays. So far tonight, St. Francis trying to even the page. Clock will move now inside of 9 minutes. Let's see who's kicking that football, though, for SXU. Crowd coming alive again. Ben Butler waits inside his own 40-yard line. Long count. Here comes the kick away. Short high.
Looks like that was Pringle.
And that takes a bounce, a Cougar bounce, St. Francis bounce, back around the 41-yard line of SXU. And St. Francis living large now. They'll have great field position, leading at 10-0. Still 8:50 remaining in this first half.
Joe, just an update on that field goal. That was the second longest field goal in USF history. Gavin Gardner breathing a little easier after that. He has the record at 46 yards, and he passed Ryan Nix, who had a 44-yarder for the Cougars. So we saw some history here on that field goal.
Very tight formation, just one wide to the left. They want to run the football, off tackle run, and here's a gain inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. Are they staying with Connor? Yeah, that's Luke Connor still carrying the football, looking for somebody desperately to hand the football to an official. And they'll mark it at the 37-yard line with 8:30 remaining in this first half. Fast-moving ball game here tonight. Tight formation again. They want to run the football. Connor dances his way right side. Second effort inside the 35. Push back. But it'll bring up a third down call. They'll spot the ball right around the SXU 34-yard line. And that'll bring up third down and let's call it a long three. Now closer to 4. Third down and 4. Ben Butler comes out now. He'll be in the slot, the left side. Siegel's wide left. Cornerbacks coming up in press coverage on Jay Siegel. Here's Simmons out of the shotgun right now. Wants to throw. Short drop. Looks, throws to a spot. Catch is made. Boy, who else? Jay Siegel making that tough catch in a pack. Brought it down to the 27-yard line. Cougars move the chains. 1st and 10, St. Francis.
Joe Simmons really threaded the needle on that play because Siegel had two guys bracketing him there.
Well, they know what he can do. You're not going to fool Mike Feminis. 24 years he's been there. Coach Kevin Donnelly, 25. Here is Connor, pushes a teammate ahead, pushes it down to about the 26-yard line. Short gain that right up. You know, and what St. Francis is doing with the run emphasis, they're shortening the game, too, and keeping that SXU defense on the field a lot.
Hey, you want to wear them down. And that's just what the Cougars are doing.
Isaac Van Curren checks out. Dandridge wide to the right. He'll be joined by Ben Butler out there. Siegel stays wide left. Now motion, Patchett left to right. Here's a screen coming up. No, they throw the ball, and that's a little deceptive that time. I don't know if they got the first down, but the gain will be down to the 21-yard line on that second down. I thought they were going to Patchett in the flats. It was still a little out pattern, and now we've got an SXU player down for a moment. That's Anderson. And we're going to have an injury timeout here with 6:48 remaining in this first half. Stoppage of play. Cougars on top. St. Francis, the blue and silver, 10-0. Injury timeout brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine. Winning combination with all sports here in the Fort Wayne area.
The PSM Performance Edge program is here to help athletes reach the next level. It's a high-intensity, personalized training program built for athletes who want to be the best. Whether you're making the jump to high school athletics or have dreams of playing your sport in college and the pros, the Edge is the athletic development program to get you there. Over 150 athletes have decided to put in the work to reach the next level with the Edge program. Call us at 260-266-4007 to schedule your free one-on-one consultation.
Big third down call coming up for St. Francis. They need about 4 yards. They've got it at the 22. Motion, dive to the right side. Counter run at the left. They're not going to get it. SXU has great defense at that time, and coming up in run support, that was Peyton Nigro. So it'll be fourth down a little bit longer than 4 yards now. Will they go bring Jack James back in? Right now, it looks like they're going to bring Crosley McKeachin in and run a play. Got to get inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Here's Simmons the throw, and whistles blew right before the snap. Timeout SXU. So they're trying to make some defensive adjustments. 6:18 remains here before the end of this first half, and we're coming back right after this for Momper Insulation.
Everyone knows that winter is coming, and when it does come, it's the wind and cold air that really chill your home. Momper Insulation can keep the cold out by sealing the leakage points and filling empty sidewalls, even through masonry or siding, without unsightly holes or blemishes. They're also experts at insulating crawl spaces, attics, and any place the cold could get in and ruin your winter. Let Momper seal your house, saving you 30 to 50% off your heating bill. Call today for a free energy audit before it's too late. Momper Insulation.
Cougars with their offensive unit huddled up on the field. SXU now comes back out. Referee Jason Ferguson talking to one of the SXU players. Jared Almeida leads the USF offense back on the field. Fourth down coming up. Got to get to the 18 on this snap. They'll work from the right side hash mark. 3 wide to the left. Simmons, long count from scrimmage, backs away, still 18 on the play clock. Ready to set his team down. Simmons has the snap, drops the throw, steps up in the pocket, looking, dumps it off. That one knocked away from McKeachin. And again, the second fourth down stop of the ball game goes SXU's way, and they'll take over the football, 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Dangerous pass there by Simmons, Joe. That was into traffic, and that's the kind of big play you don't want to give up right there. SXU, over the years with St. Francis, they've made those big plays.
Checking that St. Francis at deep secondary safety, Bailey Parker is out there. Also Brandon Lockwood. Here's a little bubble screen. It's a double pass. And instead of run down the left sidelines, they had some running room that time. They had an option going, and the option was to run. And they'll bring the ball out across the 22. And a big gain that time, as they'll bring it out to about the 20. Yeah, let's see where they spot that football. Oh, there it is, at the 27-yard line. Second down and 5. Kevin Donnelly said expect trickery, double passes, everything you can think of. They'll throw the kitchen table at you. 3 wide to the right to run. Mario Price got a block, and he's close to a first down. Rolls out across the 30 to the 34-yard line. They'll say the knee hit right there. Are they going to give him the extra yard? They will. All the way up to the 36. I didn't see him get that far. Got a generous spot of the football, but it is 1st and 10 SXU. I thought the knee hit back at the 34. They might give him the 35. They gave him an extra yard. 5:19 on the clock. Late in this first half. Empty backfield. Here is Stuart Ross throws to a spot. Got a Poiselli catch to the 40. Looped and came back and gained another yard across the 41. They like those short passes, possession-type passes. And it'll be 2nd down and 4 for SXU, nearing midfield.
If they can get them in space, they've got some playmakers on that team.
SXU with 1 timeout remaining. St. Francis, all 3 of theirs. Mike Gundersdorf comes wide to the left. 3 wide to the right. Stuart Ross, play action fake. Looks, being pursued, got rid of the ball. And he was going to be hit that time. That was H.A. Moore. They're going to get to know one another real well tonight. No choice, but he had to get rid of the football. And I tell you what, where he threw it, there was one of the Cougar St. Francis defenders that was converging on that football. As it is, it's 3rd down and 3. Trying to get out now to the 46 on this snap. Big play coming up. Mentioned last week against Siena Heights. They were just 4 of 15 on third down situations. Ross drops, throws the home run ball. He's got a man downfield, and the ball is fought for. And who will come up with it? It's SXU inside the St. Francis 25-yard line. You talked about big plays, and they got one there.
That's Justin Pringle out there. It was a good fight for the ball.
9 catches last week for 61 yards. Comes up with a big play there. So SXU now with a marvelous opportunity to try to cut into this 10-0 St. Francis lead. Ross again runs. Mario Price has a big hole up the middle, curled back to his right, reached the 15, maybe another yard. Nate Telhelm recovered, made the play, but another gain of 5, in fact 6 yards, brings up second down and 4. 4 minutes time remaining here in the first half. Now a bunch lineup to the right side. You've never seen this one. 2 tandem receivers, set of 4. Empty backfield now for Stuart Ross. Looks, screens the ball. It's got Price. Curls back to the left. Got away from one St. Francis defender and got to the 15-yard line. That is original. I don't think I've ever seen that. 2 sets of 2 receivers to the same side in tandem.
Probably call that a diamond out there. SXU's doing a great job right now of getting the ball to their receivers, and then they're curling back inside, making them hard to tackle.
Counting on getting the blocks to free up the receivers. Taking a long time now. Play clock is down to 12. They do have 1 timeout remaining. They may use it right here. Trying to run the game clock down to 3:09 with play clock at 7. Mike Feminist says, let's talk things over. It'll be third down and a couple. Third down and actually closer to 3. So we will take a timeout here at Darcy Stadium. 10-0 is our score, and we'll be back right after this for Northwest Mutual and Landon Myers.
When it comes to financial planning, most financial companies focus on your income. With Landon Myers Northwestern Mutual practice, the focus is on your outcome. Northwestern Mutual knows what it takes to succeed, both on your balance sheet and in your life. It takes just the right financial partner who looks at where you are now and where you want to go, then designs a financial plan to get you there, so you can achieve the life you're after today and every day. Focus on your financial outcome with Landon Myers and Northwestern Mutual. Call Landon at 260-318-2132. Let's see how our team can best benefit your team. Northwestern Mutual is the marketing name for Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, NM, and its subsidiaries in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Landon Myers is an insurance agent of NM. For additional information, please visit landonmyers.nm.com.
You're listening to USF Football on WGL. News Radio 1250 and 105.5.
There is one name in heating and cooling that will make you a part of their schedule. Current Mechanical. Current Mechanical handles all heating, cooling, water heater, filter system, and geothermal needs, including replacements, repairs, and maintenance. With over 35 years in the heating and cooling business, Current Mechanical's response time is one of the best in the Fort Wayne area. Call Current Mechanical 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 420-8138. Current Mechanical. Keep it current.
On the seam in that defense, and it was really an easy touchdown for SXU.
Peyton Bennis comes on to try to make it a 3-point ball game. He's a left-footed kicker, waiting for the snap and the hold. Left-footed kick is on the way, long enough certainly, and it is good. So make it 10-7. The issue becomes a bit more clouded, as does the sky here at Darcy Stadium. 10-7 with a timeout down below. This is Cougar Football on WGL News Radio 1250, 105.5 FM.
When the furnace or air conditioning goes out, it's not on your schedule or even a repair company's schedule. There is one name in heating and cooling that will make you a part of their schedule. Current Mechanical. Current Mechanical handles all heating, cooling, water heater, filter system, and geothermal needs, including replacements, repairs, and maintenance. With over 35 years in the heating and cooling business, Current Mechanical's response time is one of the best in the Fort Wayne area. Call Current Mechanical 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 420-8138. Current Mechanical. Keep it current.
So how will St. Francis now answer the SXU, the St. Xavier score? We'll find out here momentarily. Still 3:03 remaining in the second quarter. St. Francis has all 3 timeouts remaining. Ben Butler is back deep in kick return. And Laban Davis also back there. Love to see what he could do with a kickoff return here. Bennis measuring the approach off. SXU will tee it up at their own 35. And we're just about ready to go to work once again. Seems like the wind has died. Flag is limp on the... Here comes the deep kick near side. It's Davis will have a chance. Carries from inside the 5 to the 10, 15, 20, 25. Spins, holds on to the football across the 30 and got out to the 32. So here we go. 1st and 10, Heath Simmons will run the offense for St. Francis. Dandridge stays out there. Cameron Peterson as well. And Crosley McKeechin among the eligible receivers for USF. Clock inside of 3 minutes. Peterson offset the left. McKeechin comes in motion to the wide side. Here's Simmons, checks off. Peterson's got the ball, 30, and then runs out of bounds, being pursued defensively that time by Finn Brandon of SXU. It'll be a gain of a couple of yards, so 2nd down and 8. And the clock is running. Not sure I always understand what that rule's about, when the clock stops or doesn't stop. Simmons looks, hands to Peterson. Peterson, bit of a hole, then stacked up across the 35. Got a couple more to the 37. Was 2nd down and 8. It'll be 3rd down and 4. USF trying to reach their own 42 basically on this snap. Under 2.5 minutes time remains. Trips package will be wide right for St. Francis. Out of that motion back to the near side by McKeechin. Here's Simmons, looks, dances, throws to a spot, got the catch. McKeechin gave ground but had plenty of distance across the 45. He's got the 1st down. The clock will stop while they move the chains. 2:12 shows remaining. Now they wind the clock while the chains are still moving. And 1st and 10, USF at their own 46-yard line. Simmons looks, hands the ball off here, and the ball popped free. Did SXU get it? I believe Peterson jumped on it. 3 fumbles last week. 2 of them were lost. Did gain a yard on that fumble.
That was a bad exchange there, Joe, between Heath and Cameron.
2nd down and 9. Coming down a minute 40. Simmons, pump fake, now throws to a spot, and that's off the fingertips of Crosley McKeechin. That'll kill the clock with 1:36 to play, but now it becomes a 3rd and long situation. USF trying to reach the 44-yard line of St. Xavier on this snap. May have been a penalty, Bill Scott. They're looking SXU's with hands to the face, I believe.
If that, and it looks like that's the case, that's a huge break for the St. Francis Cougars.
They're marking it off. No, they'll set the ball down at the SXU 49. That's not enough yardage for the 1st down. It will be 3rd down. They still show 2nd on the, now they're going to change it to 3rd down. They need about 4 yards. Simmons hands, and here's a run to the left side. And forward run by Peterson inside the 45 to the 43. Just enough yardage to pick up the 1st down.
That 5 yards made a difference.
Again, Kevin Donnelly has not used a timeout. He's got 3 remaining. They run the clock, 1:24, 1:23, 10-7 ball game. St. Francis trying to extend their lead. Here is Simmons, dances in the pocket, throws over the middle. He's got Crosley McKeechin, makes the catch inside the 15, takes it down to the 10. I tell you what a throw that time by Heath Simmons. They had him well bracketed.
They sure did. He really threaded the needle in there between 3 defenders.
So not only inside the red zone, but knocking on the door. It'll be first and goal with 1:04 remaining. Clock is moving. Simmons now barking out the signals. McKeechin just made that catch. Comes in motion to the right. They'll run. Here is the running back. Got inside the 10 down to about the 6, maybe the 7. And Kevin Donnelly will take a timeout now. 53 ticks of the clock remaining here in the 1st half. 10-7 ball game. We will step out and we will bring you this word from Current Mechanical.
When the furnace or air conditioning goes out, it's not on your schedule or even a repair company's schedule. There is one name in heating and cooling that will make you a part of their schedule. Current Mechanical. Current Mechanical handles all heating, cooling, water heater, filter system, and geothermal needs, including replacements, repairs, and maintenance. With over 35 years in the heating and cooling business, Current Mechanical's response time is one of the best in the Fort Wayne area. Call Current Mechanical 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 420-8138. Current Mechanical. Keep it current.
St. Francis started out recovering a punt in the end zone. Early touchdown. Braden Payne was there, 7-0. And then Jack James from 45 yards out. But somehow, Phil Scott, he knew it was not going to be easy night. 10-7 right now. St. Francis knocking on the door, but it's second down and goal from the 8-yard line. And work to be done yet. 53 seconds remain. Luke Connor, I believe, back in there, offset to the right side. They want to run him. No, here's a quick pass. That one's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Simmons did not have a lot on that ball that time. Pippert Board has come in on the front line for St. Francis. Joined out there by Christian Porter. So a lot of new numbers on the offensive line. Now third down and goal from the 8-yard line. 2 wide to the right. Siegel's 1 wide to the left. McEachin in motion, roll to the right side by Simmons. Buying time's got a man in the corner of the end zone, diving for it. Catch is made, but out of bounds. I tell you what, he had the flats open. And now they'll bring on Jack James to attempt this chip shot field goal. Well, you hope it's a chip shot to try and increase the lead back out to 6. They've led early on by as many as 10-0. Somehow you get the feeling left points on the board.
Close enough to qualify for a chip shot.
This will be a 23-yard field goal. Basically dead on for Jack James. Waiting for the snap. Hold looks good. Kick is long enough as always. And it is good. So let's call it 23-yard field goal. 43 seconds remains. We'll step out, and we're coming back right after this for Blue Jackets.
All of us can use some help from time to time. That's why Blue Jacket supports men and women in the Fort Wayne area through employment and training. Also those who may have the cards stacked against them from the homelessness, addiction and disability, a felony, even long-term unemployment. All can be overcome through Blue Jacket intervention. Blue Jacket even hires certain clients at its own enterprises, such as their high-end theft store, cleaning service, staffing service, and highly popular holiday event, Fantasy of Lights. Blue Jacket stands ready to help those in need.
Jack James with that field goal. 43 seconds left in the half. Remember, St. Xavier won the toss, deferred. They'll get the ball to start this third quarter.
That was a big win for SXU there on that series, though, to hold the Cougars to a field goal on that. I'm sure Kevin Donnelly really wanted to get 6 out of that possession.
James will tee it up at his own 35. The kick will come right to left as we look at it. And here it comes. Driving kick once again. They'll just look at it sail into the end zone. Took no time off the clock, so it'll come out 1st and 10 SXU. They'll have it at their own 25-yard line. And well, Mike Feminis is kind of a gambler, just like Kevin Donnelly at times. Maybe more so with Mike Feminis.
You don't think he'll just kneel on it 3 times?
I wouldn't take that. Wouldn't take that bet.
No, I wouldn't either.
SXU does huddle up with the offensive unit for a while. They're just coming onto the field right now. We had a scoring update earlier today. No further update, and it was Judson. They were winning at Madonna. No, Judson was home. They were winning 21-0. That was a third quarter score. They run Mario Price, turns the corner, gets across the 30, out short of the 35, and did take the clock down to 36 seconds. So they're not quite done yet with what they feel they can accomplish. Javen Mays out there. Kyle Quinn has figured a couple of times. He comes wide left, part of the trips package out there. That was a gain of 8, second down and short, 2nd and 2. Stuart Ross out of the gun. has the ball in the read option. There's Mario Price, big hole. Got across the 35 to the 36. No timeouts remaining for SXU. St. Francis has 2 timeouts, so they have to play hurry up. Now 1st and 10. SXU at their own 37. 23 seconds remaining. Here's Ross under pressure, steps up in the pocket, now runs the football. He's got running room to his left and falls down. He's got the first down. That was maybe a big, I don't know if it was going to be a touchdown saving tackle, but a good play that time by St. Francis. It is a gain to the 48. 12 seconds remains. They'll run the clock now, down to 10, down to 9, and Stuart Ross spikes the ball. So he'll have 2nd down and 10. With the ball, pretty good field position at the 48. He may try to put up the home run ball right here.
It was Dakari Jones making a play on that last tackle for St. Francis, Joe.
A.J. Moore is out there also now. He's had some pressures, in fact, some success with sacks on Stuart Ross. 1st and 10. No, it should be 2nd down and 10, and it is. They had it at the 48. Here's Ross. Does screen the ball quickly left side. And not much gain inside midfield to the USF 48-47 yard line. Still 4 seconds remain. Too long. Poiselli with the catch. But from the 49, that's a miracle field goal. And they'll run a play. Might be the last play of this first half. Mickey Cassidy joins us from Game 1 at halftime, part of the Parkview Sports Management halftime show. Here's Ross being pursued, looking, and they've got him sacked. That's the way the first half will end. A.J. Moore, once again, I believe, had some help, but it'll be 13-7 here at halftime. St. Francis with the early 10-0 lead go to the dressing room on top by 6 at intermission, 13-7. We'll be back with our Parkview Sports Medicine halftime show. Mickey Cassidy from Game 1 standing by in the wings. And right now, a reminder, you're listening to Cougar Football on WGL News Radio 1250, 105.5 FM. Learning to manage your finances? Maybe not a lot of fun, but what if you actually got paid to learn? Public Service Credit Union is partnered with Zogo, the gamified financial literacy app that lets you earn while you learn. With real-life rewards like gift cards to your favorite stores, bite-sized modules tackle topics like saving for retirement, buying a car, even opening a checking account. Lessons that are fun for students and even parents. Get started by downloading the Zogo app. Use access code MyPSCU. Finally, it pays to learn about finances thanks to Public Service Credit Union.
When it comes to financial planning, most financial companies focus on your income. With Landon Myers Northwestern Mutual practice, the focus is on your outcome. Northwestern Mutual knows what it takes to succeed, both on your balance sheet and in your life. It takes just the right financial partner who looks at where you are now and where you want to go, then designs a financial plan to get you there, so you can achieve the life you're after today and every day. Focus on your financial outcome with Landon Myers and Northwestern Mutual. Call Landon at 260-318-2132. Let's see how our team can best benefit your team. Northwestern Mutual is the marketing name for Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, NM, and its subsidiaries in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Landon Myers is an insurance agent of NM. For additional information, please visit landonmyers.nm.com.
Playing competitive football in Fort Wayne requires focus, determination, teamwork, and buying into a system. That worked well for Brian Kurtz and Matt Milhouse when they played together at Bishop Luers and again at the University of St. Francis. And now those two stalwart
Game
athletes
1 is the premier provider of apparel
learned on the gridiron at their new business, Kurtzmio Concrete Solutions. These days, it's less about football and more about finding the most cost-effective concrete and power washing solutions to meet your needs. Join the winning team at Kurtzmio.com.
Game 1 is the premier provider of apparel, uniforms, and equipment, unifying teams and fans in schools, clubs, and organizations. From our partnerships with teams and organizations to our work and dedication to the communities around us, we never stop, striving to help.
Runner-up NAI championship team. At this time, I'd like to invite these gentlemen out to the field. Throughout those 3 years, the Cougars went 20-0 in MSFA Mid-East League games while capturing 3 straight Mid-East League crowns. In 2004, Coach Kevin Donnelly guided the Cougars to the NAIA Championship and in the end earned MSFA and NAIA Coach of the Year. Throughout the 2004 season, the Cougars totaled 555 points, averaging 39.6 points per game, compared to just 147 points from their opponents, averaging 10.5 points per game. The Cougars were led by the NAIA Rawlings Player of the Year, Corey Chakwe, who that season rushed for 1,016 yards, scoring 20 touchdowns and averaging over 72 yards per game. Quarterback Chris Bramble led the team down the field throughout the season, totaling 2,452 yards, 18 touchdowns, and averaging 175.1 points per game. Defensively, the Cougars could always rely on Chris Van Horn to step up and make big plays, and he led the Cougars with 15.5 sacks for a total of 110 yards for a loss, and was named the Football Gazette Defensive Lineman of the Year. Heading into 2005, the Cougars opened the season on the road at Indiana State, led by Corey Chakwe and Chris Bramble. USF dominated ISU, winning 42-10, and setting the tone for another remarkable season. Like they did in 2004, the Cougars totaled nearly 400 points more than their opponents, averaging 38.1 yards per game, while the opposition averaged just 12. The Cougars saw a total of 8 MSFA Players of the Week honors with halfback Doug Wasilic, and linebacker Mark Drobick, earning the most valuable rookies of the year for offense and defense. After back-to-back trips to the NAIA championships, the Cougars were poised for a third time heading into 2006. Their 13-1 record and 6-0 record against MSFA Mid-East League opponents earned Coach Kevin Donnelly the MSFA Coach of the Year. Inside linebacker Brian Kurtz was named the NAIA Rawlings Player of the Year as he led the team with 64 tackles with 3 interceptions for a total of 82 yards. Also for the third straight year, the Cougars outscored their opponents by nearly 400 points as a total 553 points, averaging 39.5 points per game against just 164 points and 11.7 points per game by the opposition. Throughout the 3 years, the USF Cougars totaled 39 wins against just 3 losses and not a single loss in the Mid-East Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for our USF Cougars of 2004-2005.
Something that I think we can stand behind. We've got great leadership. We've got people that have been with inside the industry for a long time, some upwards of 40 years, and we've brought in some staff and some people at the top that have run business enterprise, and that's probably the biggest thing. They've given us some direction. They've given us marketing tools. They've given us software, some things that have really helped us that we really couldn't get to that next level as an individual team dealer. So I think that's been probably the most exciting thing. There are a lot of moving parts right now, but at the end of the day, we're here to service customers, and we're built on relationships, and those things have not gone away.
As you mentioned earlier, competitive business. Every business has a mission statement about what sets them apart. What's our focus? How are we different from the other guys? And I was interested online. I'd like you to elaborate a little bit, but I looked on the Game One website, and a phrase caught my eye. Game One exists to help enhance your shared reason for being a team, and also to elevate your spirit, identity, and go power. To me, that's very striking. Talk about that and more about what Game One's all about.
So I think what in our industry a lot of times people view as two sides of the table. You've got the customer and you've got the sales rep, and a lot of times that is something where we're in any industry where the sales rep has something that they're trying to push onto a customer and convince them to buy. In our industry, we know that what we sell is needed by those schools. Every school needs football helmets. Every school needs basketball uniforms. Every school needs track equipment. They need that product. So we're not a company or an industry where we're trying to force things onto customers. We think of ourselves, of our sales reps, as more account managers. They're going to build those relationships. Those customers will tell you what they need, and then it's your job to kind of go and fulfill that. So a lot of our new reps that come on board, we kind of try and get them to understand and explain to their coaches and their customers of just be an extension of their coaching staff, right? There's an offensive coordinator, there's a defensive coordinator, there's a director of ops, everybody's got their role. Your role within that school and with that coach is to provide them the gear and the product that they need in a timely manner. So again, it is more relationship driven, and I think that's what that'll never go away from an industry standpoint, and why we will have success will be part of that. I think another phrase or another slogan for us is that we want to be the brand behind your brand. The brand that is on the field or that school or that logo is a big deal. We want to be the person that supports that on the back end.
Now, you've been talking mostly about schools, but I was interested that the reach of Game One goes well beyond schools, though, corporate organizations, and I also have bands and theaters, so it's almost unlimited.
Yeah, so the industry really started from the school space, right? We are big into the sports world, but everybody out there has some sort of need, whether it's polo shirts or homecoming shirts or all sorts of different things across the board, and everything needs to be logoed. Everybody wants their name out there. So, yeah, we've got a ton of corporate business. I think that's one of the big footprints and the biggest growth as we became Game One is there are a few different divisions of it. So whether, like you said, corporate, you've got stuff inside the school that are not sports related. I mean, we can handle pretty much everything. We want to be that one-stop shop.
I've often said that you can be playing tiddlywinks, but if you carry that school logo or whatever, it's important not only to you as a competitor, but to your fans, to your family, and to the school itself. Mickey Cassidy, our guest here tonight. The slogan, you often hear it, look your best, play your best. But is that true? Well, if Game One has anything really to say about it, the answer is a definitive yes. Game One, you can reach them on the web at www.game-1.com. That's game-1.com. Now, let's get back to more football on WGL News Radio 1250, 105.5 FM.
Dealing with joint pain, sprains, strains, or back pain? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Ortho Express gives you access to expert orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatments, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. You can even see ortho providers virtually through the Parkview MyChart virtual walk-in clinic. Visit us at our new location in Huntington, next to the Kroger. Ortho Express is open Monday through Friday. Call 260-266-4007 for more.
Here's a great Christmas gift-giving idea for that special man of the house in your life. Give him a copy of legendary coach Kevin Donnelly's new book, Snap to Whistle. Kevin Donnelly has built a prolific college coaching career in Fort Wayne, winning back-to-back national football championships here at the University of St. Francis. But it hasn't always been an easy ride. Follow the trials and tribulations of Coach D's 40-plus years of college coaching, the ups as well as the downs, and examples of perseverance and triumphing over adversity. More importantly, with his guidance, how boys wanting to play winning football also became responsible men contributing to their communities. Snap to Whistle provides laughs, some tears, and great life examples sure to entertain any man. Get your copy of Snap to Whistle today, and when you buy in the Cougar football office, Coach D will also personally autograph your very own copy. Snap to Whistle, also available at Amazon, Apple Books, and Barnes & Noble.
All of us can use some help from time to time. That's why Blue Jacket supports men and women in the Fort Wayne area through employment and training. Also those who may have the cards stacked against them from the homelessness, addiction and disability, a felony, even long-term unemployment. All can be overcome through Blue Jacket intervention. Blue Jacket even hires certain clients at its own enterprises, such as their high-end theft store, cleaning service, staffing service, and highly popular holiday event. event, Fantasy of Lights. Blue Jacket stands ready to help those in need.
Back at Bishop down John M. Dorsey Stadium, I'm Joe Parson. Glad you could join us here tonight. Halftime, Cougars on top. St. Francis, the version, blue and silver, on top 13-7 after they opened up a 10-0 lead. We'll recap the scoring for you. Scoring tonight has come, certainly from a St. Francis standpoint, a little bit in unexpected fashion. The offense has not generated a touchdown, a score for St. Francis. Meanwhile, SXU trailing as much as 10-7. They did get a touchdown pass from Stuart Ross to Pringle. After a fourth down spot, they took over at their own 22-yard line and drove the ball down, and at the 3:03 mark, got that touchdown pass, 14 yards for Ross, to cut the lead to 10-7. Everything started, though, in kind of unexpected, really kind of crazy fashion. SXU won the toss, deferred. That means St. Francis had the ball first. They were not able to really generate much. They punted the ball, Jack James, and with the wind that was present at that early part of the ball game, seemed to get away a little bit, to cause some problems for the would-be punt returner. Could not handle it cleanly, fumbled it into the end zone. There was a scramble for it, and guess what? Braden Payne out of Concordia High School won the race to the football, and also the muscle that it took to recover in the end zone. Jack James would add the extra point, and just like that, 12:20 remaining early on in that first quarter, 7-0 St. Francis. They would need that because, again, they got down fairly deep, couldn't manage to get points on the board as far as a touchdown. They set up Jack James for a 45-yard field goal. He nailed it at the 11:04 mark of period number 2. St. Francis on top at home, 10-0. We mentioned then the 14-yard touchdown toss from Stuart Ross to Pringle to make it 10-7. And then with 43 seconds remaining, kind of a missed opportunity for St. Francis, quite frankly. They had the ball down, first and goal at the 10, could not find their way into the end zone, though. They would settle for a Jack James 23-yard field goal, and that's basically the way the first half would end, in a 13-7 St. Francis lead. Here, as we wait for the teams to come out, let's recap some of the scores from elsewhere today. Big win for number 10, Indiana Wesleyan. They were home today to Trinity International, beat them 63-6. Number 20, Roosevelt, they were on the road at Lawrence Tech in Michigan and beat Tech 42-14. Kind of a surprise, as USF Illinois was home today, and they upset Siena Heights by a final score of 19-14. Big win for number 5, Marion. They were on the road in Missouri and blasted Missouri Baptist 45-7. Have not had a chance to get by the way, there was a night game, and that was Taylor home tonight taking on Olivet Nazarene. All of these were crossover games, meaning, yeah, you want to win, but a loss does not hurt you as far as your league race. So, and the same can be said for this ball game for both Cougar teams here tonight in Fort Wayne. But again, after that 38-0 shutout loss in Chicago last year, St. Francis certainly would like to go 3-0 on the season, but that is well yet to be determined here tonight. The other game that maybe, I don't know if we have a update on that, it was Madonna. They were at Judson, and the Eagles were up 21-0 in the third quarter. I don't know if Bill Scott, you've been able to see a final on that one, but possibly Judson. We saw them last week, and I'll tell you what, yes, St. Francis scored 51 points on them, but the Eagles were vastly improved from a season earlier, and certainly were due to win a football game, may well have done that at home earlier today. Did you get a final on that one?
Yeah, Judson ended up winning that one 31-9, Joe.
31-9. So the Eagles off the snide and with a win. Well, you always wonder. You go down into the halftime dressing rooms, Mike Feminis saying, hey, keep it up. We're within arm's reach. We're down 6. Touchdown gives us the lead. Kevin Donnelly saying, what do we need to do differently? Yeah, as far as opening up holes for our run game, we want to continue to emphasize the run game against this St. XU defense. And certainly they've had some good plays offensively. Heath Simmons at times has been on the money. He's also taken some chances trying to feather the ball in against double coverage. And you wonder what Kevin Donnelly's message is to the team here, the St. Francis team at halftime.
Coach Joe, I would think Kevin's positive. He's looking at the positives in this game. I mean, they moved the ball. just punch it in when they needed to, in the red zone. So I think if they keep doing what they're doing, they've got to win the line of scrimmage, as Kevin said in your pregame. That's crucial. So the emphasis is going to be on the offensive line play and continue to pound the ball if they can.
You would be surprised. I would think that Adam Sherman is probably burning some language and also some ears at say, we need to play like we did the first two, especially in Illinois against USF Illinois. But again, this is a different team. St. Xavier, they're the real deal. Mike Femis comes to play every year. And so we'll see what happens. Teams coming out, Cougars out there, St. Francis Cougars, the blue uniforms, the blue tops, silver helmets. SXU limbering at places on the sidelines that really have not come out onto the field necessarily. But we're under 2 minutes away from the start of the second half. Which Cougar nickname team will come out on top right now? It's the local boys. The St. Francis Cougars on top, 13-7. Will it stand up? We'll find out over the next hour and a half or so.
Playing competitive football in Fort Wayne requires focus, determination, teamwork, and buying into a system. That worked well for Brian Kurtz and Matt Milhouse when they played together at Bishop Luers and again at the University of St. Francis. And now those two stalwart athletes continue to display those winning characteristics learned on the gridiron at their new business, Kurtz Mio Concrete Solutions. These days, it's less about football and more about finding the most cost-effective concrete and power washing solutions to meet your needs. Join the winning team at KurtzMio.com.
You're listening to USF Football on WGO, News Radio 1250 and 105.5.
Back at Darcy Stadium with Bill Scott, I'm Joe Parson. Team's getting ready now. Stay with us. Another 30 minutes of collegiate football here in Fort Wayne under the lights. Good crowd, very quiet in the stands. Good turnout tonight for St. Francis. A lot of fans from Chicago have traveled over for this matchup as well. And Bill, you had one update in that night game, that Taylor game at home, having problems tonight so far with Olivet Nazarene.
Olivet Nazarene leads 14-0 in the second quarter, Joe. I do have a few numbers here from the first half. There was a malfunction in the printer, but I was able to get that SXU quarterback Stuart Ross is 15 for 19 for 103 yards. That offense so efficient, using those short passes and trying to get receivers, whether they're backs or receivers in open space. Heath Simmons, 12 for 21 for 133 yards for the Cougars. Rushing-wise, Cam Peterson, 49 yards. I don't have his carries, and Mario Price leads SXU with 35 yards. So numbers are fairly close, as the score would indicate.
What did you have for Heath Simmons again in passing numbers?
Heath is 12 for 21 in the first half, 133 yards.
Here come SXU onto the field. They'll get the football first to start. This will be, what do they say about the first 2 minutes in each half? Very critical, very key in a football game. Certainly was from the standpoint of the first Cougar punt. St. Francis punt that was fumbled, lost in the end zone.
Yeah, Cougars very opportunistic on special teams getting that touchdown there. So, I don't know, let's try that again on the kickoff. What do you think?
Justin Pringle's back in kickoff return. And he caught the touchdown pass, had one kickoff return last week for 18 yards. And Jack James trying to boot it over to Lincolnwood Cemetery if he can. Lindenwood, I should say. Here's the deep kick. It's going in the yard deep, bringing it out of the end zone, a run across the 15, 20, 25, getting to the outside, running room across the 30. Now there's a penalty flag thrown. So let's see how this one fares for the SXU Cougars. Will they start first and 10 out around their 35, or will they be backed up? Ross, as Bill Scott number said, 15 of 19 through the air for 103 yards. Holding will be the call against SXU. They did not have many penalties, as I recall, in that first half.
No, it was a relatively penalty-free first half. That's why it moved so quickly.
They'll move the ball back inside the 20 to about the 17, I believe. Official thinking about, yeah, he puts the ball down right there. Big games, important games coming up for St. Francis in the weeks ahead. Next Saturday at noon, they're in Adrian, Michigan against Siena Heights. Saints got beat today at USF, Illinois. Here's Ross dropping the throw. Throws to a spot, got a wide open catch across the 25, up short of the 30-yard line. Those mark it at the 29. And that's what they live and die with. Short possession passes. Then following the trip to Adrian, it'll be back home, and guess who's here? Marion Knights, 12 noon at Darcy Stadium, 2 weeks from today. 1st and 10, SXU. A.J. Moore working at right defensive side right now. Ross out of the gun for SXU. Read option, wants to throw. Looks same play, and this one is caught. Tell what, that time, USF, Nate Telholm read it all the way. Stepped in front, but just couldn't get a hand on the ball. It'll be another catch for 9 yards for SXU. Spotted at the 39, and they're taking care of business. Played a minute, and they're already up. Approaching midfield. Gain of 9, 2nd and 1. Here they come up the line of scrimmage. Pringle splits wide to the near side. 3 wide out there to the right. Mario Price, I believe, the running back, offset to the right side. They'll give the ball to him. He's got a hole across the 40 to the 43. And St. Francis needs some adjustments. Taylor Splittorf in on that play, joined by Connor Price.
Looks like, sorry, Joe, the last couple times looks like SXU is really controlling the line of scrimmage on offense.
Spotted 1st and 10 now. St. Xavier at their own 44-yard line. They're going to send Javen Mays wide to the right. Again, part of a trips package out there. Here's Ross with the read option. Price off tackle to the right side. Sprints free. Got the midfield and into USF territory down inside the 49. And right now, the defense for St. Francis not looking real sharp.
Well, they shouldn't be winded. We're just coming out of halftime. So adjustments still to be made. Big play needed here by the defense.
A.J. Moore down there, as we mentioned. Connor Price. St. Francis showing a down 4 front defensive line. Now again, Mays, part of a trips package wide right. So far, last couple of plays, Mario Price carrying the mail. Will he carry it again? Play action fake. Here's Ross throwing the home run down the middle, and the ball incomplete. And double coverage, and now a penalty flag against St. Francis. Bailey Parker was there, had some help. Not sure who's going to draw the penalty. That's a big break, though, for SXU. It is on Bailey Parker. Looked like he got there at the right time.
Must have looked different down there on the field, didn't it?
Here comes the walk-off inside the 35, down to the 33-yard line. So mounting pressure from St. Xavier. They trail by 6. A touchdown would give them the lead after trailing here on the road 10-0 early on. Offensive line, as we mentioned, starting tonight, averaging 283 a man, tackle to tackle. Matt Olson snapping the football. Zahari Jefferson and Jeremy Widmer are the guards. Alex Pavlov and Mitch Scherer are the tackles. Here's Ross, looks to throw. It's got a catch that's broken up. They'll rule it no play that time. I believe that was Telholm again. Had the coverage on the receiver. Was that Pringle, the intended receiver? He took a hit, coughed it up. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Stops the clock with 12:19 remaining, quarter number 3. Still plenty of daylight here at Darcy Stadium. Shotgun formation again. Ross with the ball and hands it off. A running room again for Price. Gets away from one. Still on his feet inside the USF 30 and down to the 28. Not the surest tackling that we've seen not only in the first half but for the first 2 games. Change is coming defensively now for St. Francis. Going to bring in another big fella up front. Looks like that'll be Caesar Price, defensive tackle out of Lawrence North High School. That was a gain of 7. Ross to throw all the time in the world. Looks like the corner's got a man wide open there, and the ball knocked away. That was Brownlee, I believe. Let's check it and see. Or was that Dakari?
Number 8, Damon Hunter, was back there to get in front of that pass and knock it down.
Played it perfectly. Receiver was open for St. Xavier for a moment, but Hunter able to rotate and converge. So now here we go. It's 4th down and 3. SXU trying to get into the, not going to try the field goal, I don't believe. They would need to reach approximately the 23-yard line of St. Francis on this snap of the football. Crowd coming alive for St. Francis. 2 protectors in. Here is Ross looking to throw, being pressured. And is there going to be a hold? No flag, and he dumps it off and threw it away. So the Cougars, USF Cougars hold. I'm kind of astounded. No penalty flag. Looked like there was a big hold as Ross was sprinting away, but hey, that's football. Are we in Chicago? We are not. 4th down stop, the first one of the night administered by St. Francis. Good news, you'll take over the football. The bad news, you're going to have it at your own 26-yard line. But it remains a 13-7 ball game. Or does it? Yeah, they got Laban Davis in there now. There was a late change offensively by St. Francis. Cameron Peterson's in there, but here's a run. Is it the Wildcat formation? It is with Davis, and he was able to get it across the 26, maybe another yard to the 27. Davis somehow popped out of a crowd all the way up to the 33, but the whistles had blown well before then.
Yeah, they wrapped him up pretty quick. I don't think that fooled them for a second.
Well, remember, he is a former quarterback at Eastside. Didn't expect to see him in that capacity necessarily tonight. And now here is a run to the right side. And a good defensive play by St. Xavier will limit it to a gain right around the 30-yard line. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down call. And Heath Simmons will quickly check back in at quarterback. Ben Butler will join him. Cameron Peterson stays in. They were kind of using that last couple of snaps, Peterson as a wingback, but really didn't figure it into the play. Now it's 3rd down and 8. St. Francis trying to reach their own 37 on this snap. Pressure's coming, and was their coverage too quick? No penalty flag. Butler made the catch, and I'll tell you what, it's getting a little strange out there.
I don't see much difference between that play and the play they called before.
The catch is made, but it's short of the 1st down stick, so St. Francis is going to have to punt the ball away. So Jack James with that big leg steps in. He'll wait for the snap back around the 15-yard line. Here comes the delivery. High ball. Kick is away. End over end. They'll let it bounce. Pringle lets it bounce inside the 30 to the 25 and knocked down. Great open field tackle that time. Let's see who that was down there for St. Francis on the special team. Looked like it might have been Brandon Lockwood. Made the tackle, so SXU gets the ball back. Still 13-7 USF in this tenuous 6-point lead. And Stuart Ross now brings the St. Xavier offense back onto the field. 1st and 10 at the SXU 26-yard line. Moving now right to left. 10:23 remains. Empty backfield. Ross back there by his lonesome. Out of the gun. Takes the snap. Short drop. Looks for a spot. Has the catch made. Across the 30 to the 31. USF right there to limit it to a pickup of about 5, maybe 6 yards. Let's call it 2nd down and 4. But they will pick you to death with those short possession type passes all night long. Zahari Jefferson, redshirt freshman, 6'1", 260 in at left guard for SXU. Clock at 9:49. It's moving again. Now they've got to protect their running back offset to the left and trips wide to that Left side of the field, read option. Mario Price looking for running room. St. Francis does a better job of stopping that. They filled the gap that time. Kyle Miazga had a hand in the stop. Might have picked up about a yard, so it's third down coming up. Third down and 3. St. X trying to get out to their own 36-yard line on this snap.
And then Tellum was in on the play to finish off that tackle, Joe.
St. X taking a lot of time. Clock is down to 12 on the play clock. Now they're up to the line of scrimmage. Price offset to the left. Here's Ross with 3, with 2. They got the play off. Dropped the football and is going to try to run with it.
He fumbled it.
And fumbled. Did St. Francis get it?
It looks like it, yes.
Cougars fumble recovery. And they're in business like we started the football game when they capitalized on a muff punt, led to a touchdown, resulted in a touchdown, and now they'll have it 1st and 10 somewhere around the 31-yard line of SXU.
And guess who? Tellum with the recovery on that fumble. Nice job. Nice alert play by Tellum. Great field position for the Cougars offense here to put on a quick score. Punch it in the end zone. They haven't scored yet tonight.
Officially at the St. X 32-yard line. Here's motion to the near side now. Simmons drops the throw, pumps, throws to a spot. It's got a man too high. Off the fingertips that time. And getting up a little bit slow that time, working downfield. I believe that was Ethan Dye was the targeted receiver. Took a bit of a shot. 2nd down and 10. Clock stops with 8:44 remaining. This may be one of the fastest games ever. We are still about 16, 17 minutes shy of 8 o'clock. And with 8:44 remaining, quarter number 3. Now they want to run the football. Off tackle to the right side. Second effort inside the 30, down to the 28. That is Brownlee, who just was added to the roster. He has not been active the first couple of ball games. Pick up a couple of yards. Still 3rd down and let's call it 7. St. Francis may feel, though, they are within 4-down yardage area. Trying to get to the 23, ideally on this snap. Taking a lot of time getting the personnel in, but still 16 on the play clock. Now a new number in there at quarterback. High snap. Here's the screen coming up, and Peterson came up with it but didn't get the first down. That was well covered that time by St. Xavier. Gain was only inside the 30. And Jack James will be called upon for the 3rd time tonight, trying to extend this, what is now a 6-point lead, out to 9 if he can convert. This time, first time tonight, he'll be kicking towards the south end zone from the left side hash mark. This one will be a 45-yard, maybe closer to the 46-yard field goal. A hit from 45 earlier in the ball game. Crowd coming alive. Here's the snap. The kick is on the way, blocked at the line of scrimmage, and they are going to get a touchdown out of this. Did not cross the plane of the goal, and a return for a touchdown. And I believe, is that Finn Brandon? No, I think it was Jacob Denny. But it is a touchdown if it stands up and we see no flags. And this one will be about a 70-yard blocked field goal return for a touchdown. Till we hear otherwise, we're going to give it credit to Denny at the 7:15 mark. Now let's see Jason Ferguson, our referee. There's a discussion. St. Francis coach is coming out on the field wanting to know what's going on.
Might be a celebration.
It goes against St. Xavier. I don't think that it does not take away from the touchdown. Time of the score, 7:15. Well, we started the game in bizarre fashion, and we see more bizarre occurrences here. Denny, we believe, with the return of the field goal, some 70 yards to tie the game right now. And the extra point is on the way, or is it on the way? Now they're going to mark it off. It will not be enacted on the kickoff. They're going to enact it the 15 yards. They'll move the ball back outside the 15 to the 18. So they will set up for a 35-yard extra point. This is not a given. Right now, tie game at 13 all.
Joe, it was Jacob Danny on that recovery of that blocked field goal.
Bennis last week was 1 for 2 in field goals, hit from 29. This is 35 yards to give them the lead for the first time tonight. Left-footed kick is on the way. That's blocked at the line of scrimmage and goes into the end zone. That is going to be it. So it stays a tie. 7:15 remaining. It's brought out. There's a penalty flag thrown. I thought the play was over. But St. Francis had other ideas, and penalty flags were thrown, so we may not be totally done with just a weird sequence of what we're seeing here tonight.
For sure. Probably an illegal block as he brought that ball out of the end zone.
So we'll wait officially for the ruling. Jason Ferguson. Okay, it's going to be a penalty decline. That is going to be it. But the bottom line, this game is now a tie, 13 all. Don't you go away. Still 7:15 remaining in the third quarter. 13 points apiece. And here comes the St. Francis kick return team out. Ben Butler coming back out. Laban Davis. And Aiden Hostler.
What a bizarre turn of events on that whole, 3 plays, and we've seen 2 block kicks back to back.
Wouldn't be surprised if we're looking at the potential of an overtime game between these two teams. Kick will come from the 35. And with everything, and as well as St. Xavier has played in the second half, they still do not have the lead. But they have caught St. Francis. It's a 13-13 tie. Bennis to kick it away. Left-footed kicker. Davis back deep, along with Ben Butler. Here comes the kick now. And that's finally corralled inside the 5. Picked up by Davis across the 10, 15. Looks for running room. Running out of time. Still on his feet, trying to reach the 20. That's where St. Francis now goes to work offensively. 1st and 10. Heath Simmons back out there with Cameron Peterson, quarterback and running back respectively. They'll have 3 wide to the right. Crossland McEachin becomes in motion to the left side. There's a quick throw, and that's picked off. It'll be a pick 6. Boy, that's a bad read by Simmons. That'll be a return of 20 yards. And just like that, SXU does have the lead.
Kevin Countryman, Joe.
Yep, had 2 picks last week, including a 69-yard pick 6. Comes at the 6:59 mark.
Looks like Simmons was trying to hit Dandridge on the play. He slipped down, and he looked at the referee like he had been knocked down on the play, but it stands as a touchdown for St. X. Now we've had 3 consecutive crazy plays here.
So now it's 19-13. Shorter extra point kick, and that's off the upright and no good. So now St. Francis trails by 6. And I'll tell you what, this may go down in history as one of the most bizarre matchups among Cougars that this series that went back to 1998 has ever seen. We're coming back with more, but it is as St. Xavier on top now by 6 on the road.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home,
and life insurance.
In Northeast Indiana, contact Brendan Scott Shelter Insurance at 342 Enterprise Drive, Warsaw, Indiana, or call 574-376-4448.
Well, Kevin Donnelly and the coaching staff looking for solutions, looking for offensive consistency, and everything that we saw over the first 2 weeks, it has been absent here tonight by and large, especially in the second half. St. Xavier, their fans, they're pumped up. They've got the lead. Bennis ready to kick it away. St. Francis looking for a spark. Where will it come from? Will it come? Kick coming down. Be handled by Butler across the 15-20. Gets away from one across the 25-yard line. Flew his way out. A little better starting field position this time. And what are we going to see here now? 1st and 10. USF will operate from their own 25-yard line. They've made a change at quarterback now. Luke Robertson comes in to see what he can do to move the team. Checks off with still 8 on the play clock, looking to the sidelines. Now we're down to 5, we're down to 4. Robertson's still looking with 2, with 1, and they won't get the play off. It'll be a delay of game. Well, Robertson, as the number 2 quarterback, not perhaps getting a lot of snaps, and they just could not manage to get the play wagged into him, or at least he did not become aware of it. And 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 15. And St. Francis trying to fight its way out of adversity. Robertson out of the gun. 3 wide to his left. That's the wide side of the field. Drops to throw. Pressure's coming. Steps up, spun around, and brought down right around the 12-yard line. And St. X, they smell blood. Had 6 sacks in the game at Chicago last year. Now Simmons comes back in. Will the Cougar coaching staff be tempted to try Grant Yoon and to see what he can do? Now it's 2nd down and 18. Simmons back in there. Brownlee, the running back, they flip-flop him to the right side. Motion now left to right behind the line of scrimmage. Here's the drop. Simmons throws to a spot, and then catch is made. Nicely thrown, nicely delivered, and Dandridge on the catch across the 35 out to the 38. And that's one way to get it turned around.
Big play there. We got to get some more plays. Keep this momentum going here.
Brownlee stays in as the running back now. Offset to the left. No, they're going to flip-flop him. And he'll be lining up behind Simmons. They'll give the ball to him and looking for running rooms. Not going to find much. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard. Depends on the spot. Looks like they'll move it up to the 38. It'll be 2nd down after a gain of 1. 2nd down and 9. Motion right to left. That's Ethan Dye. And here is Brownlee looking for running room. Cuts it up. Brings it across the 40. Knocked down right around the 45. He's about 2 yards short of the first down stick. Again, a 3rd down call. 3rd down in a yard. They'll spot it just across the 45. About a yard and a half is what they need on this 3rd down call. St. Xavier brings all 11 up. Here's a sweep to the right side. They're not going to get it. That one took too much time. Brownlee just never could get enough momentum up to escape the St. Xavier defenders. And the decision is made to punt the football. Still 4:47 remaining here in quarter number 3. St. Xavier with the lead, 19-13, and about to get the football back. Jack James will be called upon to punt it away. He's back at his own 30-yard line. Pringle, I believe, back waits at the SXU 20. Waiting for the snap. He's got it. No rush. High. Deep kick. Pringle's going to let that one go and takes a bounce around inside the 15 and Picked up by one of the St. Francis pursuers right around the 11. That's a great job by Jack James.
Best punt of the night for Jack tonight, Joe.
High and gave his team, the punt pursuit team, Tom, to get downfield and to grab it. So St. Xavier bottled up. But will it stand? St. Francis defenders trying to make some plays. Nate Newcomer's come in at one safety. Ross back there will take the snap at about the 6-yard line. Looks, hands it off, trying to cut to the right side. Not much there. Mario Price brings it out to about the 9. Maybe they'll, no, across the 10, I should say. From the 11 and out to about the 15. That's a pretty good gain. It looked like St. Francis had that well contained.
From the St. Xavier 15-yard line.
Second down and 7 after a pickup of 3. St. Xavier will split 3 wide to the left of Stuart Ross. In fact, spread offense now. No, they've got a running back there. Dropping the throw, Ross pumps, screens the ball right side. A little stop and go run. They won't get the first down, but the gain is across the 15 now to the 16. And it'll bring up third down, and still SXU needing about 4. They need to get out to their own 23-yard line on this snap. Just over 3 minutes remains here in quarter 3. St. Francis recovered a punt in the end zone, grabbed a 7-0 lead, led 10-0. But then after a 13-13 tie, a pick 6 thrown by Heath Simmons by Countryman took it 20 yards. Crowd alive. Here's Ross. Loads, fires to the right side, down and missed it badly that time. Looking for a man down deep at about midfield. Missed him by about 10 yards. Penalty flag, and there might be a procedure call against St. Xavier. I believe Kevin Donnelly would decline that to force the punt, and that's going to be the case. So Ben Butler will set up around the 40, inside the 45 of USF. St. Francis should get pretty good field position out of this exchange of punts.
Well, they definitely need it to kickstart this offense.
Punter for St. Xavier will wait for the snap inside the 5. Got it away. That's Bennis. Low line drive kick will be fielded by Butler at midfield. Works to the 46, maybe another yard to the St. Xavier 45. So very good field position for St. Francis, trailing here at home by 6. Clock finally stops with 2:37 remaining in quarter number 3. And the Cougar crowd beneath us, the St. Francis crowd, trying to come alive and urge their troops on, trying to get some offensive production. Simmons with a running back lined up behind him. He's got motion left to right. Hands the ball off. Cameron Peterson looks for some running room. Found a bit of a hole off that left side and brought it inside the 45 of St. Xavier to about the 43. That'll be a gain of 3. Second down and 7 coming up.
Joe, this big homecoming crowd is just dying to stand up and cheer. All we need is one big play by the St. Francis Cougar offense.
Ethan Dye in motion once again. Here's Peterson up the middle. Broke it inside the 40. Did not pick up the first down. Got another yard and a half down inside the 39, close to the 38. Again, depending on where that spot is. But it'll be third down now and still about 3.
It's tough running on inside there for Cam. You can see him tiptoeing and trying to make something out of nothing.
Jalil Holloway, senior on defensive tackle. Another senior, Peyton Campbell, the other side. Here's Simmons rolling, buying time, being pursued. Throws the ball up, and the catch is made. And let's see if that was Jay Siegel. It's going to be Eli Patchett. That sure looked like a patented catch by Jay Siegel, but a great job by Eli Patchett, the 6'1 junior. And he does pick up the first down. New set of downs for St. Francis to work with.
Eli's one of St. Francis's 4 captains tonight, Joe.
McEachin checks out of the lineup. Simmons now hands the ball off. Counter run. Cam Peterson looking and chopped down short of the 25, got to the 27. Will they give him another yard? We'll see. Just over a minute now on the clock. 19-13 St. Xavier. They're going to show him no gain. Boy, I didn't think he got a very good spot on that one. Mark it at the 27. Unofficially gain of 1. Here's a sweep to the right side. A little better running this time. Davis, or Brownlee it is, won't go down. Reaches the 15 on that angled run to his right. Brownlee making the most of his chances. Did not play the first 2 games, just was activated. Now we're down. Dandridge comes in late. He's sent wide left. It'll be 1st and 10 from the St. X 16. Motion left side. Here is a run. Brownlee looking for daylight. Got it inside the 5. He's down to about the 4. Clock will stop momentarily. Cougars already. St. Francis up the line of scrimmage. It'll be 1st down and goal. They line up in a hurry. Here's Simmons looking. Hands it off again. Off tackle run. Will they get in? They do not. It's down inside or right to the 2-yard line with 8 seconds remaining. St. Francis, both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. 3, 2, 1. There's a change by St. Xavier, and the third quarter is over here at Darcy Stadium. Quarter number 4 coming up. Who will come out on top? Right now, St. Xavier leads after 3 quarters on the road. 19-13 is our score, and we're coming back with quarter 4 right after this for Parkview Sports Medicine.
The PSM Performance Edge program is here to help athletes reach the next level. It's a high-intensity, personalized training program built for athletes who want to be the best. Whether you're making the jump to high school athletics or have dreams of playing your sport in college and the pros, the Edge is the athletic development program to get you there. Over 150 athletes have decided to put in the work to reach the next level with the Edge program. Call us at 260-266-4007 to schedule your free one-on-one consultation.
Everyone knows that winter is coming, and when it does come, it's the wind and cold air that really chill your home. Momper Insulation can keep the cold out by sealing the leakage points and filling empty sidewalls, even through masonry or siding, without unsightly holes or blemishes. They're also experts at insulating crawl spaces, attics, and any place the cold could get in and ruin your winter. Let Momper seal your house, saving you 30 to 50% off your heating bill. Call today for a free energy audit before it's too late. Momper Insulation.
Here we go. Quarter number 4. Cougars 2nd down and goal from the 2-yard line. Trying to tie the game. Ultimately take the lead. Brownlee stays in. Motion to the right side. Brownlee looking for a bit of a hole. Pushes ahead. Did he cross the plane of the goal? No indication yet by the officials. Looked like he got to the 1. And it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 1-yard line. Change on the offensive line. Big Joe Henry out of Bishop Dwenger comes back in. Brandon Coy checked out of there. Need to make it happen now. Tight formation, and they're not going to get it. Brownlee tripped up in the backfield, got down inside the 1. Needs about another 6 to 8 inches, and a big decision for Kevin Donnelly now. He may feel that this is a much, and they're going to call a timeout and talk about it right here. So 14:28 remains. St. Xavier trying to come up with a goal line stand. It's 4th down and less than a yard. And we'll be back with more right here at Darcy Stadium after this from Blue Jacket.
All of us can use some help from time to time. That's why Blue Jacket supports men and women in the Fort Wayne area through employment and training. Also those who may have the cards stacked against them from the homelessness, addiction and disability, a felony, even long-term unemployment. All can be overcome through Blue Jacket intervention. Blue Jacket even hires certain clients at its own enterprises, such as their high-end theft store, cleaning service, staffing service, and highly popular holiday event, Fantasy of Lights. Blue Jacket stands ready to help those in need.
Back at Darcy Stadium, I'm Joe Parson. Bill Scott is here with us. Crowd obviously excited. 4th and 1, less than a yard. St. Xavier, everybody jammed up, one wide to the left. Here's Heath Simmons. He's got the snap, hands it off to Brownlee. I'm not sure he got in. That was a late play, and St. Xavier has held again on downs. That's the third time tonight they've had a fourth down stop, and this one came with a goal line stop. So the crowd very quiet now. Well, it's good news, bad news. The bad news, St. Francis did not score. In fact, that ball is now out to about the 2-yard line, but that is where X takes over at their own 2-yard line. Now can St. Francis defense force a turnover, or at least force a punt? Stuart Ross will take the snap about 3 yards deep in the end zone, maybe closer to 5 yards. St. Francis, they'll run the play-action fake. They throw the ball downfield. This one's intercepted. St. Francis has got it back on the pick. 30-yard line, 25, 20, and St. Francis gets the ball right back. That was Isaiah Higgins rotating downfield. And boy, I bet Mike Feminis is thinking about that call. So St. Francis gets it right back. First interception of the night for St. Francis. And it will be 1st and 10 inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Marvelous opportunity if you can cash in and make it count. St. Francis trying to get the play wagged in. We're down to 11 on the play clock. Keith Simmons with Cameron Peterson, I believe, back in there. There's Dye in motion to the right side. Simmons looking, pressure's coming. Screen is caught. Block inside the 10 to the 5. Peterson to the house. One play after the interception and a touchdown at the 14:05 mark. Nice execution, nice call from the coaches, and 17 yards and a touchdown, and we're tied at 19 all. Bill, let me bring you up and get your impressions of that play call.
It was a brilliant play call. Get the ball into Cam Peterson's hand and let him just go to work, and that's exactly what they did.
He got a key block out here about the 20, at the 15-yard line also.
Yes, sir. That's what it takes. It takes a whole team. Now the Cougars can take the lead on this Jack James PAT.
And I'll tell you what, sometimes you have to have that next play mentality. This kick is long enough, and St. Francis back in the lead by 1 at 20-19. Don't you go away. We've got over 14 minutes remaining, and who knows what we're going to see in this wild and woolly matchup among Cougars here in Fort Wayne. And we'll be back right after this for Current Mechanical.
When the furnace or air conditioning goes out, it's not on your schedule. When the furnace or air conditioning goes out, it's not on your schedule. Or even a repair company schedule. There is one name. Current Mechanical. Current Mechanical a part of their schedule. Current Mechanical. Current Mechanical handles all heating, cooling, water heater, filter system, and geothermal needs, including replacements, repairs, and maintenance. With over 35 years in the heating and cooling business, Current Mechanical's response time is one of the best in the Fort Wayne area. Call Current Mechanical 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 420-8138. Current Mechanical. Keep it current.
Well, Bill Scott, we have seen about everything tonight in this football game. Big plays, big misses. But I tell you what, that 17-yard touchdown and brilliant screen pass, Simmons on the money to Cameron Peterson, turned it into a scoring opportunity. James with the extra point, and USF back on top by 1 and 1 only at 20-19, still over 14 minutes remaining. Now James looking to get the go-ahead. He'll hit it from the 35, the kickoff line drive, and he muscles it into the end zone. So St. Xavier, now after the interception, Stuart Ross. You know, he came into the ball game with no interceptions last week, just threw one touchdown. He's got one tonight. But it's been a game at times dominated by special teams and by defenses.
You would think there's a full moon tonight, Joe.
I think
the last 16 minutes have been really bizarre.
Here we go. It's not over yet. Ross, will he bounce back after that mistake? And looks on a sweep to hand it off. They got him. No, he kept it himself on a counter run, and St. Francis stayed at home and brought it Only allowed a gain of 1 yard. Tell you what, they should have handed it off because they had running room to the right. Well, after the exhilaration of that St. Francis touchdown, now the crowd is very quiet. Check some of the Cougar numbers defensively. Scott Hudson, who played so well in week 1, he's out there defensively right now. Empty backfield, 3 wide left, 2 wide right for SXU. Here's Ross looking, taking a lot of time, throws to a spot, got a catch at the 30, brought down immediately. Talholm went down immediately. Let's hope he's not hurt. He's still on his back.
Hopefully it's just a cramp, Joe.
Up on his...
He's walking around now. He's coming off under his own power, so that's a good sign.
That's the good news. So the Cougars, St. Francis will bring in a change there. Also got a new number defensively out there. Well, that's Spencer Patty who's come back out. Third down and 4. Ball is at the 31. They've got to get out to their own 35 on this snap. Big play again for both teams on third down. Blitz is coming to River Walsh. They throw to a spot, and that's wide and incomplete. Poiselli was open, but Ross could feel the pressure coming, had to get rid of it, and paid the price. And once again, St. Xavier, barring a fake, will have to kick the ball away. Damon Hunter talking to one of the officials. How you been? How's the family? Or are you going after the game? Good seeing you again. 4th down and 3. Mike Feminist might be tempted. Still with 12:43 remaining and down 1, but still a lot can happen. St. Francis suspicious too. They've got 10 men up. Here's the punt attempt. They got it in. End over end. It'll hit at the USF 40. Takes a St. Francis bounce upfield across the 45 and out of bounds around the 46. So St. Francis once again will have tremendous field position, leading it by 1. Well, Kevin Donnelly has often talked, Bill Scott, about, it's nice when you score 50 points and win by a gazillion points. He said he would be thrilled with 1-point victories. He might be looking at that potential here tonight at home.
I'm sure he'd like to get some more points on the board here with this possession. Real good field position here.
Boy, attempting a run, but St. X just fills the hole, and that'll be a loss inside the 45, back at the 44. Just have not been able to get the front push by the offensive line. And I think it started back in the second quarter. A little turn of event, maybe in the third quarter. Loss of 2, 2nd down and 12. Dye in motion again to the right side. Here's Cam Peterson looking for running room. Does get across the 45, but back only to the 47. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and long call. 3rd down and 9 with St. Francis trying to reach the 44-yard line of St. Xavier. Dandridge comes wide right. In the slot to the right side is Ben Butler. Siegel's made a big catch tonight. They've got single coverage on him to the near side. Motion right to left behind the line of scrimmage. And here is Simmons being pressured, looking, throws, and that one a diving catch short of the 1st down. No, they say it hit the turf. Siegel pleads the case, but that's going on deaf ears. Unfortunately, you don't have a TV review either here.
Not tonight.
So now Jack James in the exchange of punts is on. And would Kevin Donnelly be tempted with 11:33 to roll the dice here? I got a feeling not. That he'll rely on the big leg of Jack James and hoping his team can continue to play contained defense. James inside the 35 of St. Francis has the snap. Kick is away. End over end. That'll hit at the 25. Takes a St. Francis bounce inside the 10. Still rolling. Out of bounds or near it, right around the 6-yard line. And Jack James has responded in all phases of what he's been called upon tonight. Kicking field goals. He's got 3 of them. Well, 2 of them. The last one was blocked. Memory runs short sometimes. But punting the football, he's done just a tremendous job.
Yeah, that was a great punt down inside the 10-yard line. Make them go the length of the field. The defense seemed to pick up their game that last possession for SXU, so let's see if they can continue to play that way.
And that is the question. Will it continue? Stuart Ross at the goal line, now at the 1 with the snaps, got it. Hands it off. Here's Mario Price looking for running room. Curls across the 6, brought it out close to the 10. Got just enough surge off that left side to get a little more daylight. That's a gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Cougars trying to rotate in fresh people on defense. They know how important it is. They'd love to pin them back here inside the 20, 30 even, make them punt.
Price remains in, offset to the left side. Mays is in wide to the right, the lone wide. They'll run Price looking for running room, and he finds it across the 10 to the 13, short of the first down. Maybe got to the 14. And here we go yet again with 10:36 remaining. It'll be 3rd down and a couple. They've got to reach across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Will they run Price again? Will they throw for it? There was movement defensively, and the penalty flag comes out. The left side moved that time, trying to anticipate and jumping. Just can't do that in these 3rd down situations.
Joe, it looks like it's going against SXU.
That was Hudson. He must have been induced to jump. They call it the other way, and I got a feeling Mike Feminis is looking for an explanation on that. In fact, you can see him just throwing his palms down. So now it's 3rd down and much longer with the ball back inside the 10. They still have to get out to the 16. Shotgun formation. Stuart Ross wants to throw, looks, throws to the near side's got a man out here. The ball is caught. Great play that time. Javin Mays makes the catch, gets him out of a hole, and it'll be 1st and 10, St. Xavier.
And Ross makes that throw under pressure. The Cougars were putting heat on him there in the end zone.
Ironically, Bruce, Bill Scott, Braden Payne, who scored the touchdown in the early moments of the ball game, he was beaten on that play. But here we go. Under 10 minutes remains. St. Francis by 1. They show blitz up the middle. Here it comes. Here's a quick throw. And Mays again's got the ball, cuts to his left, got to the 40, takes a hit. Maybe out of bounds around the 41. Talholm back in there and made the stop. That's good for about a 4-yard pickup. 2nd down and 6. Field goal would give the lead back to St. Xavier. St. Francis led early on 10-0. 13-7 they had the lead. And then on the pick 6 by Countryman, trailed on the 20-yard return, trailed by 6. Long count from the line of scrimmage. Here's Price looking for running room and finds it. Did not get the first down, or close to it, depends. Reached across the 45 to the 46. He's short by about a half a yard. 3rd down call coming up with under 9 minutes now remaining in this ball game. Price is basically gone all the way tonight as the running back. Had just no carries last week, had 3 catches, and they felt he's the man, and he's responded. 3rd down and less than a yard. Here's Stuart Ross, throws quickly, and the ball is caught. That was Price coming out of the backfield. He was down on contact. The ball came free. No, that was Poiselli. Quick hitting play. And somewhere along the line, you've just got to understand that's exactly what St. Xavier's bread and butter is. The quick slants, screen passes. Once in a while, they'll try to hit you with the fade and the home run ball, but they just pick you to death. Stuart Ross dropping, screens the ball right side. Price has got it, works to the 40. Still on his feet down inside the 40. He goes to about the 37, maybe the 36 of St. Francis. What do they say about those 1,000 knife cuts? They just bleed you to death. It'll be 1st and 10, St. Xavier at the USF 36. 8:05 remaining in regulation. Ross again hands it off. Here's Price, running room off tackle, and something's not going right for that Cougar defense. Carries inside the 30 down to about the 27-yard line. Changes coming up now in the Cougar front line. Adam Sherman looking for answers. Caesar Price comes back on the field. St. Francis realizes what we see, the problem on the field defensively. They're going to take a timeout. 7:44 remains. Second down call coming up for St. Xavier. When we return to Darcy Stadium, they need about 3 yards and need a field goal to take the lead. We'll take a timeout, and we will be back right after this for Landon Myers.
When it comes to financial planning, most financial companies ask, what's your salary? At Northwestern Mutual, we ask, what's your story? We know building the right financial plan means more than looking at money. That's why Landon Myers starts by asking the right questions and listening to what matters most to you, then guiding you every step of the way to help you live the life you want, now and years from now. You can plan your financial story through Landon Myers and Northwestern Mutual. Contact Landon at 260-318-2132. Let's see how our team can best benefit your team. Northwestern Mutual is the marketing name for Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, NM, and its subsidiaries in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Landon Myers is an insurance agent of NM. For additional information, please visit landonmyers.nm.com.
St. Xavier with the ball inside the USF 29. It's second down and 3. St. Francis coaches challenging that Cougar defense. Now on the reverse. Here's a run to the left side, some running room. They'll get the first down, or will they? Close to it. Needed to get down to about the, about to the 29. Little reverse that time, little trickery, little razzle-dazzle that time. They get the ball in the Kyle Quinn's hands on the reverse. Looks like they are short. So it'll be third down. And now it's going to be St. Xavier that takes a timeout to talk things over. So we have a timeout on the field once again. And we'll be back after this for Game 1.
Game 1 is the premier provider of apparel, uniforms, and equipment, unifying teams and fans in schools, clubs, and organizations. From our partnerships with teams and organizations to our work and dedication to the communities around us, we never stop, striving to help you take on every day, season, and competition with excitement and purpose. Visit game-1.com to learn more about our apparel, equipment, and fan gear offerings. Game 1, your first contact for all things game.
Crowd very quiet again here at Darcy Stadium. SXU, everybody in tight, needing a yard. And here's the straight ahead push, and they've got it. They'll bring it inside the 35 to the 34. And right now, the war of wills being won by St. Xavier up front.
Yeah, I think they've controlled the line of scrimmage for much of the, from about the middle of the second quarter on, probably. There's been some spots where St. Francis seemed to have it together, and but for the most part, St. X just is pushing the Cougar front line around.
Spotted at the 24, first and 10. Clock becoming a factor inside 6:40 time remaining in regulation. St. Francis by 1. Here's a throw to the corner of the end zone. The ball is tipped in the air and caught on the deflection for a touchdown. St. X has got the 24-yard touchdown. St. Francis defender was there, tipped the ball in the air, and it'll be a touchdown St. X at the 6:29 mark, and they're back in the lead.
Pringle again with that reception. Nice job out there. You got to give him credit. He stayed with that one after the Cougar defender tipped the ball. Just couldn't knock it down.
25-20. Are they going to go for 2? The lead is 5 points right now. They will. So a big play right here. Little motion now. That's Price. Sets up wide to the left. Here's Ross looking, and being pursued. Throws over the middle. That one is incomplete. Nobody home that time. So 6:29 remains. St. Xavier back on top in the seesaw effort, but their lead is just 5 points, 25-20. Can St. Francis find a way? Can they respond? You're listening to Cougar Football on WGL News Radio 1250, 105.5 FM. Let's hear from the coach, Kevin Donnelly.
This time of year, everyone is thinking football. And now there's a special opportunity to grab a copy of Fort Wayne's legendary coach, Kevin Donnelly's new book, Snap to Whistle. At the University of St. Francis, Coach D's Cougars captured back-to-back national championships in 2016 and 2017. His new book reveals over 40 years of coaching trials and tribulations, as well as the ability to overcome personal adversity and challenges. Snap to Whistle, a perfect gift idea if you're truly a football fan. Get a personally autographed copy in the USF football office, also available at Amazon, Apple Books, and Barnes & Noble.
You're listening to USF Football on WGL News Radio 1250 and 105.5.
With Bill Scott, I'm Joe Parson back at Darcy Stadium. Can St. Francis find a way? Can they answer? Two back and kick return, waiting inside the 10. Bennis waiting. The left-footed kick will come from the St. Xavier 35. This has been a game of missed opportunities and strange occurrences. Here comes the kick down at the 10. Return across the 15, 20. Ben Butler looks for a block. Now accelerates across the 25. They'll push him back, but he will have a push out to about, let's see. We'll just wait and see where they mark that football. Having a little problem separating the team after that kick return. So they will mark it at the 27-yard line. 1st and 10, USF moving from right to left. And they are 73 yards away from taking a lead. Here's Simmons, checks off, throws right, and somehow that ball never got in the screen to the intended receiver. I didn't see a defender out there necessarily. Was it tipped?
Countryman tipped that ball.
Coming on a corner blitz. Clock stops, 6:18 remains. 2nd down and 10. McKeachin sets up again on the wing to the left side. Simmons rolls left, buys time, looks, throws back to the right. He's got a catch. Across the 35 to the 36. Close to the first down, but still, no, they are going to credit them with the first down. They'll move the chains.
Wow, that was a generous spot, Joe.
I hope to tell you.
nice catch there by number 10, Ben Butler.
They're kind of thinking about it now. They do move the chains.
Maybe he should go into sales. He must have sold that.
So spotted, 1st and 10 at the USF 37. 6 minutes exactly remains in regulation. St. Francis with the ball down 5. Simmons in the pocket, throws near side. Siegel with the catch at the 45 and immediately out of bounds. There's vintage Jay Siegel.
Great back shoulder throw, too, by Heath Simmons there. Great teamwork there. Great catch by Jay Siegel.
Great decision, great delivery of the football by Heath. Now, here comes St. Francis across midfield. Ethan Dye motion to the right side. Blitz is coming. They run right into it, and that second effort will gain yardage to the 43. That's a pickup of 2 yards the hard way. Run was right up the A gap, and that's exactly where the linebackers were coming. Butler back in. Dye checks out. Clock inside 5.5 minutes now. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Got to get to the 35. That's the first order of business. Motion now. McKeachin right to left. They'll draw the run, spinning and falling down to the 41. And here we go. 3rd down and long coming up with the ball back at the 42-yard line.
Man, he was right in that hole, Joe. It makes me wonder what they're seeing, what they're reading, because they knew what the play was, and yet he was able to make something out of that play.
Marcus Sovic credited with the stop. 3rd down and 7. Simmons needs a big play here. Rolling right. Throws the ball. McKeachin had it, lost it. And that'll bring up 4th down. And what do you do with 4:39? Got to believe that Kevin Donnelly may roll the dice here. Discussion is occurring. Play clock is running. Still 30 seconds to decide what you want to do. Got to get a catch and a gain at least to the 35. And here we go. Ball game on the line right now. St. Francis has 1 timeout remaining. They drop 3 back in coverage. Simmons has got motion right to left behind the line of scrimmage. Takes the snap. Looking. Throws to a spot. And the catch is made at the 31. Siegel again? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Bill, I got to tell you, that ball came out in such rapidity and so high. I thought he overthrew the receiver, and suddenly Siegel's down on the ground with the football.
I think Jay was wearing hot pads to catch that ball.
New life for St. Francis. 1st and 10 at the 31. Dye in motion far side. They'll throw the ball. Dye has got it. Turns inside the 30. Knocked down. Stays in bounds somewhere around the 25 or 26. Clock stopped for a moment. Now it runs again. It'll run inside of 4 minutes before this snap of the football. That's a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7. Ideally, you'd like to manage the clock and score in the last minute if you can. Late change coming in defensively for St. Xavier. Here's a handoff. And no, Simmons has to eat it and is pushed out of bounds on the far side inside the 30, but that had problems right from the get-go.
And yet they may have picked up 3 yards on that, even though the ball was supposed to go to Peterson.
But it's going to bring up a 3rd down call. The clock continues to move inside of 3.5 minutes. St. Francis again doing it the hard way. Play clock at 21, but the game clock's what is important right now. Simmons backs up out of the shotgun, now has motion. McKeachin left to right. Takes the snap, pump fake, throws in the middle. Has got a catch, but that's only inside the 30-yard line. That happened a little bit too quick. Gain is to the 29. And once again, here we go. It's 4th down and 8. Clock inside of 3 minutes. Got to get to the 21 on this snap. Can St. Francis find the answer? Simmons looks, throws to a spot, and there is the answer. Siegel again squats down, and he has been the man. The last couple of big throws, he's got it down to the 20-yard line. They'll move the chains.
Savvy veteran play there by Jay Siegel. He's just picking up the Cougars' offense here and helping them get right down the field.
Clock inside 2.5 minutes, time remaining. Don't go away. 3 wide to the right. Now Peterson offset to the right side. Now motion back. McKeachin to the near side. Simmons to throw. Looks, throws to a spot. That one's caught inside the 15. And trying to get out of bounds, and they'll stop the clock with 2:13 to play.
That's Siegel again, Joe.
Why not? Money. So it is good. That play for 7 yards. And now the clock runs again. And they've got a problem with the scoreboard clock. Inside of 2 minutes, 2nd down and 3. McKeachin motion to the right side. Simmons looks, dances, throws, and that one nearly intercepted. They went maybe to the well once too often. That one was read very, very well that time by the St. X defender. Came in and jumped the route and nearly had the interception. But the clock does stop now officially with 1:48 to play. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Siegel comes wide to left. They come up press coverage on him. Can he break free? Here's Simmons. Rush is coming. Screens the ball. Tipped and falls incomplete. They were coming on a blitz. Not picked up on the defensive left side. That was Peyton Nigro that came on the blitz. And once again, a 4th down call. 4th and 3. St. Francis trying to get to the 10. Can they do it for a 3rd time? They'll take a timeout, their last timeout. 1:46 on the clock. You need some of that Kevin Donnelly magic here at Darcy Stadium. We'll come back and find out if it's going to happen. And can St. Francis find a way to come back and win this football game? 25-20, St. X holding on for the win, for the lead. And we'll be back with after this for Kurt Smeo.
Playing competitive football in Fort Wayne requires focus, determination, teamwork, and buying into a system. That worked well for Brian Kurtz and Matt Milhouse when they played together at Bishop Luers and again at the University of St. Francis. And now those two stalwart athletes continue to display those winning characteristics learned on the gridiron at their new business, Kurtz Mio Concrete Solutions. These days, it's less about football and more about finding the most cost-effective concrete and power washing solutions to meet your needs. Join the winning team at KurtzMio.com.
Crowd alive now. Ball game on the line. It comes down to this. 4th down. Needing 3 yards. Trying to get to the 10 to stay alive. 1:46 on the clock. They'll work from the left side hash mark. Simmons with a protector in to his left. St. X showing blitz. Now they back away. Play clock still at 16. Brownlee back in there as the running back. Got to manage 3 yards at least. 2 wide to the right for St. Francis. Simmons looks left, pumps, throws to the corners. Got a man. Their Siegel couldn't find the handle, and that may do it. That one was pretty well defended. Tell you what, St. X waving to the crowd by. That's not the best sportsmanship. Fourth down stop of the night. That was Tyler Barnett that was waving to the crowd. So they'll take over 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. And they may have whistled him for a penalty. Might be ruled a taunting penalty. That would be half the distance. I don't know what it is about kids now. They just don't have the self-discipline, the composure at times. The penalty does move the ball back inside the 10 to the 6-yard line, but barring a miracle, St. Francis has no timeouts remaining. They just need a couple of snaps, and they'll come in. It'll be a kneel-down situation, and St. Xavier is going to win this football game by a final score of 25-20. This is a heartbreaker. Had many opportunities. Jay Siegel down the stretch just tried to carry the team on his back. Went to him time and time again. Came up with 3 big catches. But when they threw in the end zone, he just could not find the angle. And it's going to end with a defeat here at home, the first loss of the season. Now, if there's any good news, Bill Scott, it's a crossover game that does not affect you as far as the Mid-States Mid-East League. That starts next week in Adrian, Michigan against Siena Heights.
So another big game for the Cougars up there. They definitely want to go out there and prove tonight was kind of a anomaly, and that they're still right in the hunt. Vastly improved team over last year, though, considering, St. X beat them 38-0 last year.
Tell you what, the line, though, will get some scrutiny this week, especially the defensive line. Too many holes, too many opportunities for St. Xavier to run the football. Now we're down to 9 on the play clock, 23 seconds, and that is going to do it. Now you can celebrate the victory. It is official. And St. Xavier won 38-0 in Chicago last year. They will come away with a come-from-behind 25-20 victory here in Fort Wayne. And they will even their record at 2-2. And for St. Francis, it's on to the road next Saturday afternoon in Michigan with a record now of 2-1. Coming back with our post-game show. Stick around. We'll recap the scoring, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Coming up here tonight on Cougar Football on WGL News Radio 1250, 105.5 FM.
The PSM Performance Edge program is here to help athletes reach the next level. It's a high-intensity, personalized training program built for athletes who want to be the best. Whether you're making the jump to high school athletics or have dreams of playing your sport in college and the pros, the Edge is the athletic development program to get you there. Over 150 athletes have decided to put in the work to reach the next level with the Edge program. Call us at 260-266-4007 to schedule your free one-on-one consultation.
Everyone knows that winter is coming, and when it does come, it's the wind and cold air that really chill your home. Momper Insulation can keep the cold out by sealing the leakage points and filling empty sidewalls, even through masonry or siding, without unsightly holes or blemishes. They're also experts at insulating crawl spaces, attics, and any place the cold could get in and ruin your winter. Let Momper seal your house, saving you 30 to 50% off your heating bill. Call today for a free energy audit before it's too late. Momper Insulation.
Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram knows that sometimes it just makes more sense to buy used. Every purchase is different. Every buyer has a specific need. But that doesn't mean you have to settle for a poor, depleted selection of vehicles on some shady corner lot. There's no need to get frustrated driving from dealership to dealership, confronted by hard sell lot Larrys trying to hustle you into a bad deal on a high-mileage vehicle. That's because Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram has a massive selection of factory-back certified pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, and a finance approval plan to get you into the vehicle you want. Credit issues, divorce, bankruptcy? No worries. We've got the banks, we've got the loan officers, we've got the financing. Don't run all over town. Just run on down to Coliseum under the giant American flag. You can still have a big dealership experience even when buying a pre-owned ride at Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Always online at glenbrookdodge.com.
You're listening to USF Football on WGL, News Radio 1250 and 105.5.
Well, one of those football games you had to attend to believe it was happening. Just a wild game here tonight at Darcy Stadium. Started well enough. In fact, St. Francis had the ball. Really didn't move the football after St. Xavier won the toss and deferred. St. Francis had the first chance. It resulted in a punt. You figure, ho-hum, no big deal. Well, Jack James has got that knack sometimes with his punting ability, aided a little bit maybe by the wind. The punt returner for St. Xavier had problems, Bill Scott, all the way really locating it and then grabbing the football, deflected into the end zone. It was a free ball, and Braden Payne was there to jump on it. And really inexplicably, St. Francis turned that into a touchdown to lead early on 7-0. And you just don't see plays like that in college football at any level.
Not very often, Joe, but when they happen, you want to be opportunistic and take advantage of them, and that's what St. Francis did. Unfortunately, they missed some opportunities to add to that lead. They kicked a field goal there, but I'm sure Coach Donnelly and I'm sure the Cougars wanted to punch in touchdowns as on ensuing possessions where they got down there inside the 15-yard line.
It would be a 7-0 lead, and Jack James would add to that lead early in the second quarter on a 45-yard field goal. But St. X had a way of making four down stops. They took over the football at their own 22, and that would set up a 14-yard touchdown for the SXU Cougars. 14-yard pass from Ross to Pringle. That would make it 10-7 after the extra point was knocked through by Bennis. Then Jack James again would extend the lead out 13-7. With 43 seconds remaining in the first half, he would connect on a 23-yard field goal, and then things got really kind of bizarre. A fumble recovery. Talhelm had it at the SXU 22, but the blocked field goal negated points on the board for St. Francis. That would be turning into a return, and some, let's see how they credit it, some 40 from the 46. Jacob Denny did return that ball, and they really don't show the return distance on it, but it would result in a touchdown. I had it roughly at 70 yards. That's probably not correct. But anyway, it would be a touchdown that would make it a 13 tie. The reason the extra point went off the upright, and it did not give St. Xavier the lead. That would change, though, in a hurry. Just roughly 16 seconds later, bad communication between Heath Simmons and the would-be receiver resulted in a pick six returned by Countryman, some 20 yards, and St. X would have their first lead of the night. Isaiah Higgins, though, would come up with an interception in the fourth quarter, and that would set up St. Francis at the SXU 17-yard line. And one play later, it would turn into a touchdown on a screen pass from Simmons to Peterson, taking it to the house at 17 yards. And it would be then a 20-19 ball game. St. Francis after the extra point by Jack James at the 14:05 mark would lead it, but it would come down to a deflected ball and a 24-yard touchdown. Pringle was in on the play. Deflected ball bounced right into his hands for the touchdown. The 6:29 mark. They would try for two. It was no good. 25-20. And then down the stretch, St. Francis would tie. They went down to Jay Siegel 3 times, and I believe all of those were on 4th down tries. And finally, in the last few seconds, inside of 2 minutes time remaining, the throw to the end zone intended for Jay Siegel could not connect, and that's the way this game will end, with a 25-20 victory for St. X on the road. Interesting, this season, the season series started in 1998 when St. Francis went on the road to Chicago and beat a Mike Craven coach team, scored 50 points, over 50 points, and a great effort by Keontae Lindsay. St. Francis won the first 6 games in this series. St. X would come back, and from 2009 to 2011, they won 4 in a row. And now, after St. Francis had won 2 in a row, St. X, with that win last year, 38-0, now they win here tonight in Fort Wayne, 25-20, and they have run 2 wins in a row against St. Francis. We're coming back. We'll wrap things up. We'll review the scores from elsewhere and take a look at the week ahead right after this from Opera Insurance.
Everyone knows that winter is coming, and when it does come, it's the wind and cold air that really chill your home.